Yay!
Yeah.
Welcome to 2021. We made it. We actually did it and entered into a brand new year full of brand new Dungeons and Dragons and hopefully some brand new trauma for the players and their characters to go through. Yay! My name is Dom. I'm the Dungeon Master for our wonderful Chocolatiers campaign, and we do have a new overlay. It looks so good. Look at the art. That's so awesome. I'm just gonna.
Oh my god, it's so pretty.
Yeah, as we go through the introductions, I'm gonna watch the Twitch stream so I can see all of these awesome Pulse. Damn it, Pulse. Just cheered 69 bits. Thank you, Pulse, for that. Bryn, why don't we go ahead and do introductions while I'm distracted and while you're distracted by a cat?
Yes, this is Jasper. Hello everyone, my name is Alishiera and I play Brynjael the Irradiant. Yeah, let's have a good time. Very excited for the first session of the year.
Excellent. Eminence.
Hi everyone, I'm Nicole. I play Eminence. She's a tiefling warlock. I'm also very excited to be back and playing, and super excited over seeing Aery's pants. I never noticed them before.
Oh, really?
They're real good pants.
Wait, now I have to wait for it to load back around.
Yeah, it's got to cycle through.
They're real big boots.
Everybody just shush and
I'll just
wait.
sit here in silence until it rolls.
I know. Wait for the pants. We'll call them out. Oriana.
Hi, I'm Maleficent, and I play Oriana, and I had a birthday while we were on break, and now I'm old.
You are exactly 1 year older in the span of a day. Congratulations.
That's how it works.
And Aery.
Just a sec, I'm typing in chat.
Look at the art.
Yeah, I made Oriana too hot.
No, I think it's perfect.
Never.
Those are boots?
Yeah.
No, that's boots up to like the mid.
No,
What is
it's
that,
boots the
thigh?
whole way up.
And then...
Yeah, boots up to the mid thigh.
Okay. At first, I was like, "That's boots all the way up to like the waist." Jeez.
Yeah, they're just like chaps. Yes. Hi, I'm Jimmy Okat. I play Aery, who has very high boots. And I drew all this art of our characters and the and stuff.
It looks so good. Great job.
I hope you like them all and it helps you visualize us.
Yes, and Natalie.
Hi, I'm Natalie, and I like to hit stuff.
As the half-orc barbarian, wouldn't have it any other way.
It's my Eldritch Blast.
Yeah. But with a weapon, with an axe.
Yeah, I cast
Eldritch axe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Eldritch axe.
It has been a hot minute since we have played with the Chocolatiers, but we are going to be picking up right where we left off. The 5 of you, originally 6, headed down to the city of Valater to investigate the Forest of Statues, a magical location within the deep wood where whenever someone is buried, an exact likeness of the person who died there rises up out of the ground as a statue. It came to your attention that in the city of Valater, specifically in the Forest of Statues, a new statue arose that happens to look identical to the current ruling king of Valater. Upon arriving, you saw this statue for yourself and met the sort of Glades protector that was Benmilla Definki Criselli Satina. And she basically showed you this statue for yourselves. You tried to go to the central keep of Valater. However, you were turned away. It turns out that the king, whom the statue is a perfect likeness of, apparently is ill and was unable to see you at the time. As a result, you spent some time hanging out with Silence, one of the king's advisors. You spent some time with El Romeor and I believe also Naladri, and got to know them over the course of dinner and sort of explored the local area around Valater, where it came to your attention that the deep wood was moving. Trees were moving and expanding, and in your case, returning back from the Forest of Statues, attacking people. So at the request of El Romeo, you decided to head towards the center of the deep wood to investigate why these trees were moving. And on the journey, one of your party members did depart from the party, leaving the 5 of you to fend for yourselves. However, a little around half a day later, you arrived at the center of the deep wood, this much smaller vale, almost like a crater in the center of this hilly region. And at the center of this crater, you found an enormous tree, absolutely massive. And on the side of it, a single small hut owned to Jonna Caskbow, a self-proclaimed what's the person who looks through a telescope? Astrologist? Astronomer, that's the one. Astronomer, who showed you a stone, a small piece of a meteorite, around the size of a basketball, that had crashed down here in the center of the deep wood and had come to rest upon the side of this massive tree. In an incredible effort of communication, Brynjael was able to try to appeal to the tree and communicate with it, whereupon it opened a portal to some sort of upside down. Everything was dark and windy and terrifying, where they found that same tree almost mirrored, but instead of a stone, they found a knot of black and white ichor that seemed to be almost strangling the tree. Natalie was able to cut this heart of ichor free and extricate it from the rest of the tree. And after a brief encounter with several seemingly crazed tree ants and some other smaller creatures, the rest of the party has returned back through the portal back to, as far as they know, the regular world. And that is exactly where we will pick up, because we did, unfortunately, have a very long battle and then a very cathartic conversation between the 2 tiefling sisters as they contemplated actual death and losing each other and what that would mean. So the 5 of you have now made it back through the portal. It is close to late afternoon. The sun is probably going to set within the next hour or so. Already you can hear the wind is sort of rustling a little bit. Again, there's like that aquatic reverberation of sound just warbling throughout the deep wood, as if there's some sort of layer to the air itself. You also no longer smell any mint that was on the air, as the rest of you were trekking through patches of the deep wood. Previously you would get tastes of that smell, but now it does not seem to be there anymore. And Jonna Caskbow is over by her small sort of lean-to up against the side of this tree. What would the 5 of you like to do?
I think Bryn would probably go and be taking nails out from the trees that are in the local vicinity.
Okay, yeah. So you still have the hammer that Janna had, so that's going to give you basically advantage. Are you just trying to do this until nightfall, or are you just...
Yeah, like while everyone's kind of, I think, seeing the sisters kind of go off and be talking and stuff, and her and Natalie having come out after cutting all the feet off of the red cats. Just like, hey, not gonna ruin my day. And just goes about her little tasks, just waiting until, I think, knowing that she was the reason we all went into the tree, Bryn's just like, I'm gonna let everyone else kind of like settle and figure out what we're doing, and just in the interim, like in the meantime, we'll just be taking until everyone's ready to settle camp and stuff.
I think Natalie would help as well. It seems like when there comes to strong things, we're the terrible 2 when it comes to that.
But nice strong things.
I know, I just forgot about the feet thing.
Yeah, nice.
Just chopped off their feet. Thank you for that reminder.
For a good reason, okay?
Yeah, we didn't want to leave iron in the other side. Yeah. What a bad time. And they deserved it.
Yes. So the two of you set off and start heading around to trees, and collectively, before nightfall, you probably are able to get around 12.5 trees in the immediate vicinity, free of these sort of bent iron nails that have just been embedded into the roots. But after you get to the first tree and sort of pull the nails free from the tree, as you turn around and walk away, you kind of hear this rustling, like the sound of leaves and branches swaying a little bit. And as you kind of turn around to look and examine this tree, as you have with all of the others, it's still there. It doesn't go anywhere. When you free the nails from the tree roots this time, they seem to stay.
Well, I'd like to think that that's a good sign for us, that they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're happy to stay here now, but I still think we're doing the right thing.
So, well, let's see how many we can get before the sun goes down.
Let's make it a challenge. Let's see.
Oh,
how many
a
hours
little
you
test
got?
of
How many hours you got?
skill. Well, we only have one hammer, and I feel like, we want to expedite it, but I don't want it to be an unfair advantage at the same time.
No, well, I'm all mean, okay? Like, we'll make it a challenge to see how many we can get by the end. Let's say, like...
collectively. Yes, collectively. I
know.
like that idea.
So maybe let's try double time it. If we can get double that amount before we go to sleep tonight. What do you reckon?
I think you're on.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's get strength checks from the both of you, or one of you can roll with advantage.
Well,
I think
you already have
both...
advantage with the hammer, right?
Yeah, because Bryn has the hammer.
Right. So then, if I was rolling, say, without the hammer, I would just have to do it.
You would just flat roll.
Yeah.
So then
Goodbye.
I can just... Oh, no. The CatRoulette.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hey,
Went completely blank and then came back.
Uh-oh.
Move the Discord channel. Do I need to leave and come back?
No,
Okay, there we go.
So once she puts the camera back,
Hello.
back in the right spot.
The magic of overlays.
That was weird.
Okay. So if you want to use the hammer, I'll just roll.
Okay, yeah. Oh.
Part of me is No, I won't do that. I was gonna rage. I'm like, no, I don't need to do that, do I?
Just like constantly like cutting your arm, like stay angry.
So
you just intentionally hit your thumb.
I got two attacks per action, so like, one to pull, one to bash.
As Bryn's pulling the nails out, she's like, one for the tree, one for Natalie. Just like keeping the rage going. 21 for Bryn.
Ooh, okay. It's a 16 plus something. Where is there it is, over here. 16 plus, it's strength, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, dirty 20.
30-20, excellent. Yeah, so initially I said you guys got about 18. I would say with that you're able to get a clear 24, closer to 2.5, around like 26 or 27 of these trees in the area, just moving as a tandem unit, like nail, hammer, pull. Okay, nail, hammer, pull. And just moving like, you ever watch those videos of people that are way too good at their job because they've been doing it for way too long?
Like the satisfying bricklaying video.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
And then moves to the next brick. It's exactly like that. The two of you are just moving quickly and in unison, and it is clean and precise. The other three of you, is there anything that you would like to do?
While the others are having a family moment, Aery is just gonna sit in the hut and drink tea, I think.
Yeah, so Jonna is there in the hut, and you can see that she is working on the contract that she mentioned to the rest of you for sort of like rights to this stone. And you can see that there are a couple of pieces of paper crumpled up next to her, and she's kind of talking to herself, and just doesn't even really notice you come in. but the tea is still warm on the teapot on the side of the room in this cramped, tiny chamber. And you can very easily make yourself a cup.
And also, if she's not paying any attention to me, just like to poke around her weird little house and see if I can find anything interesting. Not even like necessarily like valuable, just interesting.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Not very good. 7 plus. Where is it? 4, which is 11?
11?
Yeah.
Yeah, so nothing really stands out to you as outrageously like interesting or weird or obviously there is the glass and the tools to refine it, and there is the telescope sort of taking up the center of this chamber and the small tables pushed up against the sides. Basic tools and supplies, forks, knives, her clothing. You also can see that she does have kind of over by the window, she has what looks like a scabbard, sort of with this patterned, jeweled inlay, just hanging next to the window, but there is no blade inside of it. And as you kind of get closer to look at the scabbard, you read the words R, or the letters RC, sort of very, very finely etched into the side of the scabbard. And she looks up and notices that you looking at it, and oh, hi. Well, welcome back in. How's everything?
Oh, very good. Sorry, I didn't want to, interrupt you. What's this? Is very pretty, but did you lose the blade?
I never had it.
Oh, you found this?
It belonged to my father, Rickard.
Oh.
He passed away when I was very young, and this is a way to try and remember him.
I see. Okay, well, carry on.
Yes, I have a lot of work to do. This contract work is very difficult, and the pen keeps slipping from my fingers. And you can see that she has like ink on her fingers, and as she's writing, she's kind of like trembling a little bit.
Are you okay?
Yes. There's a lot of excitement with you people around.
Think
and,
this is exciting?
Well, I mean, there's also going to be a lot of excitement, leaving and going home and all of that. And I just, the past few months have been quiet, if that makes sense.
I guess. Maybe you should have some tea and wash your hands.
Oh, it's only
You're
ink. It
making a
doesn't really
complete
go anywhere.
mess of that,
She
exactly.
scratches on her face as she's saying that, and there's two lines of ink now on the side of her cheek.
Well, good for you. Okay, I'll be over here.
Okay.
That's all. I'm just gonna vibe out. She's a mess. I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, she's currently occupied. Awesome. And the sisters, you two had your conversation last session. Is there anything either of you would like to add or continue, as it seems that the two of you have another moment alone after returning?
I think very quickly after the awkward attempt at a display of affection, Eminence would get uncomfortable and try to extract herself from the situation. So I might try to pull myself together and go find Aery.
Okay. Aery is in the small lean-to with Jana, just drinking tea and politely zoning out, I guess.
I'll wander over to kind of join in, notice that he has a teacup, and kind of go serve myself a cup of tea and attempt to look as pulled together and immaculate as I possibly can. And what's he looking at in particular? I'll just kind of stare at whatever he's looking at, like, yes.
It's like staring into the void.
Yeah.
He's just bored, I think.
This is a very far removed from the lifestyle that I think Aery has become accustomed to.
Yeah.
Excellent. Question, Eminence, are you actually centered, or are you just trying to look centered?
She's pulling herself together, but I'm probably still a little bit shaken. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, like, you know, when someone's had a good cry and then they kind of pull themselves together and they look pretty centered, but they're still a little edgy.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you go and make a performance check?
That is a natty 20.
Hey!
And my performance is a +3, so...
Damn.
Honestly, Aery, you like glance over at Eminence and she looks great. Like, very good in this moment.
Totally fine. Well, I guess things went well with Oriana then?
Oh, yes, of course. She just needed a few minutes to apologize, but everything's fine.
Well, that's always good to hear.
Yes, you know how sisters can be.
No, I don't.
Well, it isn't unusual.
Well, not my business what goes on within your family. So I do want to know really badly, and I know you won't tell me.
I'll kind of like spare a glance at Jana. Is she paying attention to our conversation at all?
She is not. She is in her own world. She crumples up another piece of paper and just tosses it behind her. You can see that it's like growing into a pile of just different pages.
Mm. All right, then I guess I'll kind of lean in and be a bit more conspiratorial and be like, okay, I will tell you, but oh my god, it's a lot, and not right now. Like it's a lot. Okay, we need to like do this properly. Like,
Okay, when we get back to town.
Sure.
What?
Oriana, is there anything that you want to do?
She would have considered for like half a second following Eminence because she still looks a little like, and then she would have gone like, no, I've done enough. This is fine. And she'd probably be watching Natalie and Bryn, like, that's because we said like it's kind of like when you see the bricklaying thing, it's just like, how the fuck is that working so well? She's just like, I wonder what it would be like to have like that kind of team partnership thing where everything works really well. Like, just quietly in awe.
Just marveling. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So the sun slowly dips lower and lower into the horizon until it finally disappears beyond the hills in the distance, still covered by the trees of the deep wood. It does get much darker within the wood before the sun fully goes down because you are in a hilled forest. However, there is still plenty of natural light throughout this area just by the size of the massive tree in the center, opening up the sort of space around you and around this lean-to. But sure enough, the sun slowly dips lower and lower into the sky until it is lit up with the brilliant reds and purples of sunset. And shortly thereafter, night falls. Is there anything else that anyone wants to do here over the course of the day?
Not really.
Or evening?
We don't want to speak with Jana at all.
She's hard to talk to.
That is very true. Also, I am outside.
I imagine as it starts to get darker and darker, it becomes like difficult to be like, do we have the nail? No, that's a piece of bark. Do I have the nail? And
Perhaps we should pick up with this in the morning. I don't know if we're going to make much more headway this evening.
Yeah, I was really hoping to get that, that double going, but looks like it's getting a bit hard now. Maybe
Well, I
it's to
think
rest.
26 isn't a bad effort for a couple of hours.
That's true. We do a pretty good job.
I guess we should find the others and figure out what we're doing in terms of lodgings for the evening.
Yeah, I don't know whether maybe we need to get any food organized or anything like that. I guess we still have rations and things for dinner, that kind of stuff. I don't imagine that the others have really thought about that yet.
I'm not sure in this vicinity if a fire would really be wise, though, because of all the leaf litter around. It's very dry. So rations might be the best course of action versus cooking anything this evening.
Absolutely. I mean, unless, by chance, Jana has some kind of fitted kitchen or something.
But she did have a fire. She did have a fire going. I don't want to impose too much on her. She seems a little bit unsettled with our presence.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what to take of that. Hey, the whole time that we were in there, she just hasn't left.
But hey, that should be fine for her to take the Skyrock now, shouldn't it? I think that's whatever that was on the other side being severed.
Yeah, true, but I didn't really even... Did we even really have a look at it when we left? I don't even know what's left to take.
We all kind of got a headache when we got near it, and we're like, better not mess with that. And then I went inside a tree, and then everyone followed me.
Honestly, I think even if it didn't give us a magical headache, it just gives us a real headache anyway. So,
oh, definitely bad. I think Aery used a word vibes earlier. Bad vibes.
Bad vibes. Well, maybe we just, on our way back, we'll just go have a little bit of a look-see by that rock thing, see if it's still there, and then, I don't know, head back in for the night.
See what everyone else is doing. Oriana and Eminence were having a discussion, and I'm sure Aery would have preoccupied himself with something while we were doing this.
Plus, it looks like Oriana's just settled herself over on the grass that is staring at us. It must be really wonderful sitting here watching us.
I mean, I am having a good time watching you work, and she gets to watch both of us work.
We do make an excellent team.
We do.
Alright, let's go pick up Oriana and head back inside.
We head over to Oriana.
You do that.
Aery, should we go inside and see what we're doing in terms of sleeping this evening?
Probably a good idea. I mean, I don't think we're sleeping in
Oh, no, there's not enough room for all of us.
Oh, not even room. I still think she's crazy. Even without the rock, I'm pretty sure she's still crazy.
That's true, but
A little bit unsettled.
I don't really want to just leave her here.
Well, Arden didn't find her horse, so her horse is like almost 100% dead. So she was talking about drawing the cart by hand to get the rock out, but I don't know how she's going to really go about doing that.
I think if we're on our way out, it can't hurt to really help her leave.
We need to check. I can't remember if she was going the same direction as Valater, though, or if she came from the other side of the forest.
She came from the south. She came from a place called Bea Township.
Oh, I don't want to go all the way south. Can't we just
No.
go north? And then
I mean, we can offer to take her with us, because if she comes with us, then she could always resupply and get a horse, which all in all is probably going to be faster for her than drawing the cart by hand and having to scavenge and forage on the way out of the forest.
That's very true. Plus, then maybe she can secure passage with someone in the town who's maybe going in the same direction.
It's not Arden's favorite thing to do, but he will draw a cart if I ask him very nicely.
Oriana, did you get a look at the thing on your way out?
The
Skyrock.
Yeah.
Since we came back?
Yeah.
No. Didn't occur to me.
Should we go have a look?
Sure. It actually did occur to me. I was looking at my spells and then I completely forgot what I was doing.
So the sun
That.
Yeah, is basically setting. It has just sort of disappeared, so it is dark as you head back over around like the massive leg of this route towards the crater.
So what are we seeing?
So, are you just looking at the rock, or
We're just-
are you looking
yeah.
for something in particular?
I guess mainly just like I would imagine that we'd be looking to see if it's any different. Like, if she's
Yeah,
relying
well,
on
'cause-
taking this out as
Mm.
like, you know.
I
part of
know
her
the
thing.
like the veins that were growing around, they were crumbling, starting to crumble. That's really, but that wasn't, we didn't look at the rock, we just saw that on the tree, the veins, the black and white veins were starting to crumble away.
I mean, yeah.
Or,
More my logic was that her intent was getting the rock out of there. So I was like, maybe we just check to see whether anything has actually changed with it. Like, because obviously some time has passed. We did dislodge the knot on the other side. More, I'm thinking like, what if we went back there and it's fucking gone, and then we're like, well, how do we explain that? You know? Like,
Yeah. So the rock is still there. You can sort of, those of you without dark vision can just sort of make out the lumpy shape against the base of this tree. Those of you with dark vision can see it still clearly sitting there in the exact same position. Again, sort of striating out from it, not so much on this side as when you went through the portal. Those veins are still there. However, they appear to be like drying out. Like maybe this is a weird example, but if you leave like a Twizzler in the sun, it sort of kind of like becomes gummy and hard, or like licorice.
Right. So it's like, I get what you mean. I just can't think of what to explain.
Yeah. It's not a clear idea. As far as you can tell, just looking at it, it does not appear to have, the veins do not appear to have the vitality that they did when you first arrived. Whether that means they will be gone completely or still there, you don't know.
But the rock is still intact. The part that
The
she
rock
cares
is
about.
still there.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Excellent. Perfect. That's all we want. That's all I wanted to know. Is there anything that anyone else wanted to know about the rock?
Oh, does going near it, like, can we get closer than we were before? Does it give us a headache, or does the bad one?
As you approach, you get within about 5 feet or so of the rock, and you kind of feel your vision ever so slightly just kind of swim a little bit. Do you want to try to approach closer?
Just ascertaining if it's as strong as before, because I don't think we got super close before and it made our vision blurry and made us headachy. So are we able to get closer before that happens? Does it feel like it's weakened?
It still appears to feel about the same strength.
Okay. Maybe it's something we should still be concerned about. I'm not sure if we should try and get this away from the tree this evening.
I mean, if it's not giving us a headache and one of a standpoint, and we can try and get it out.
Yeah, it's like the vision's a bit, But apart from that, it doesn't seem to be giving any other adverse effects. We should probably have our magic users present for this as well. Just in case, obviously, Oriana, you've got strong magics also, but both Emmy and Aery have shown that they have quite a capable hand of magics also, and this is definitely out of my field of expertise.
I can't remember if any of us had did this last time. I also can't remember how many spell slots left because I didn't update my fucking sheet. It didn't save. Can I cast Detect Good and Evil on the rock? And did we do that last time?
I don't think we did. I think we just cast any magic on the rock.
I feel like we didn't quite have time.
We're just like, damn, bad vibes, and then we kind of left the rock.
We're in a tree.
Don't like that rock. Well, into this tree.
Now let's cut these guys' feet off.
Into the tree we go.
I think I still have spell slots, but because it didn't update, it says that I have all of them, and I know I don't have all of my spell slots, but it's also only the first level spells.
That's fine. You should be okay.
Sleep, it won't matter.
What level is Detect Good and Evil?
It's only a first level.
Burst level. I don't see you as having it.
Is that one of your prepared spells?
Yeah. It's the top of first level.
Is your sheet downloaded? Is it different to your?
No, I've got it downloaded, but I also have it open on D&D Beyond.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take your word for it. I'll trust your sheet. I just want to read the wording of the spell.
It can for the duration, which is 10 minutes of concentration. If there's an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where it is.
Okay.
Also, if an object has been magically consecrated or desecrated.
Gotcha.
Which is
so
what we're looking for, because I doubt the rock is a creature.
You do not detect any consecration or desecration.
Yeah.
You also do not detect any aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead.
Okay. I feel like evil or good should be slightly more ambiguous than that. Just like, blip, that's bad. Blip, that's good. But no, it's specific.
Yeah, but also,
Okay.
Relative to the caster.
Good point. Good point.
Right, well, should we get Aery and Emmy to come in and, if we're going to do this, just to,
Yeah, let's do it.
Brynjael's going to, on that, go and get them. Just
You run over to the
hut.
The hut. You can see that as it gets dark, there are some what are they called? I forget the name. Not Everflame, but lights that don't use flame. What are they called?
Lightning bugs.
Basically, she activates some lights that do not use flame to provide just a little bit of light within the hut. So it is kind of nice and cozy in the dark. The flame that she had for her very small pot for boiling water has sort of burned low, and it is just some basically coal and small pieces of. Wow, it is completely escaping me. 2 words in a row. That never happens. When the wood kind of burns down and it's not fully on fire, it is
coal? Embers.
Embers. It is down to the embers. Yes, but it is still giving off some heat and just a little bit of light. And yeah, you find the two of the Aery and Emmy just kind of sitting there.
Just vibing.
Just vibing.
Aery, Eminence, we were just wanting to, move the rock away from the tree before turning in for the evening. If you wanted to come out and...
I was hoping you would say dinner was ready.
No, we haven't started preparing anything. We've been working on freeing the trees.
Oh, I'm so hungry though.
Well, you could have prepared something to eat, Aery. It's very simple. We have rations.
I didn't know where it was. The food that we can make. And I also am not very good at cooking.
Oh, well, the rations, you don't have to cook them. You can just eat them. But
we have to eat rations? That's so boring.
Yes, unless... Well, look, I can't kill a displacer beast every day to cook up displacer beast for breakfast, all right?
Fine, I guess. Okay, what are we doing?
We just wanted to move the sky rock away from the base of the tree, just in case it still had any residual effects.
Okay.
And we're wondering, as the magic uses, if you wanted to come out and kind of watch.
Look at it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
we'll look at the rock.
I'm sure I could help supervise.
Wonderful to hear. Okay, well, I'm going to head back out then, and I am hoping you will be following through shortly with us.
Yeah, they'll follow. Oh, well, Aery will follow.
As I leave, I'd like to check out Jana and see how she's reacting to this discussion of moving the rock.
She takes note and kind of looks up at the rest of you, and as the other two walk out, she looks at you and just almost kind of quietly just says, be careful.
Oh, of course, we wouldn't do anything to harm it. Would you like to join us?
I trust your efforts.
All right.
I would like to finish this before
Before.
Sorry, what?
Before what?
Before what? What?
You'd like to finish your contract before...
Oh, just before it gets too dark.
All right. I back out slowly.
She smiles at you a little too wide. No, I'm kidding.
She's not blinking.
Yeah.
She's never blinked.
That was a realization. Jeez. Natalie was not prepared for that.
Bless you? What is the thing that you say to someone with a hiccup?
Hiccup.
Gesundheit.
Good luck.
Gesundheit.
Right. Bryn is, now that she's back out with everyone, she's like getting a rope and like fashioning it as like a lasso, like a noose kind of knot, so they can adjust it around the rock. I was thinking if we tie this around the rock rather than, like holding onto it for too long, we can just drag it out, hopefully.
Kind of worried about touching the thing, though.
Well, that's why it's like a slip. It's a slip knot, so we can like put it like kind of, drape it on it and then tighten it, hopefully.
Right. I see what you're doing there.
I mean, if my visions are going blurry just from being near it, I'm kind of in the same boat of not really wanting to touch it, but...
Yeah, but, I mean, it's got to be better to move it away at least, right?
I would think so. But Oriana, if you had any other ideas that we always saw?
I think more than one of us have Mage Hand. We can use that to secure it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
We can try to help.
Yeah. If we had the mage hand that can put the lasso around it, and then we can tighten it.
Okay.
I could have cast my unseen servant to help us, but I'm not sure if I want anyone in the party to know that I have exhausted all of my spells being a bitch and not helping in that past fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unless anyone else had any other ideas, I think mage hand is a great idea.
Do it then.
Right. Bryn will finish like tying the lasso knot, or like a hangman's knot, and then give the rope to Aery. Or hold it for Aery to mage hand it out of her hands.
Aery will mage hand it over to Oriana so she can do it.
I mean, I was kind of thinking that we'd like take a side of it and kind of together, but
Well, she can grab half of it then, and they can do it together.
Yeah, just to make sure, like from each side, it's in a spot that's secure.
Okay. So just to be clear, Bryn, you're holding the end of the rope. Oriana, you are casting Mage Hand to carry the loop over on top of the rock and trying to put it on top of the rock.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Go ahead and make an Arcana roll for me.
Both of us?
Aery, are you doing that as well?
Yeah, I thought we were doing it together.
Yeah, I thought you just handed it to Oriana.
I was going to, but then she said we were doing it together.
Okay. Yeah, both of you make Arcana checks.
That's probably good because I got a 3+1. Please do better.
That's very good.
I got a 11.
An 11?
Again. I got a 7+4 again.
Yeah, excellent.
So
as the two of you cast the spell, and Bryn, you watch as the rope loop kind of lifts up between these two hands and slowly drifts forward over the rock. It gets within 5 feet, 4 feet, 3 feet, 2 feet, until it's just about above the rock. And then Oriana, your mage hand just kind of almost seems to like warble for a moment and then just drops.
Oh.
So that you're just kind of holding the loop yourself, Aery. And you're able to take it the rest of the way over the rock and slowly kind of like drape it down over the top so that the loop is loosely around the rock.
Okay, well, he'll do his best, but he doesn't really know how to set up a slip knot around an orb, so...
Bryn already tied it, so you just needed to put the loop on top of it.
Okay, so it's like literally just a loop.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm sure you can manage that. Probably.
Yep.
All right. Well, if you two can just like, as I start pulling it to tighten the knot, if you could just make sure it doesn't slip off of the rock. And then once we have it secure, then we should be able to have all of us help pull it off. Or just Natalie and I probably would be okay.
Something that's possibly important. My magic failed. I don't have anything going on over there anymore.
Oh. Well, that's only mildly ominous. If Ares is still going, then like it might be fine. He can just hold it on his own and I'll just like, gently tug it.
That's been a
Alright,
big
well,
day.
Aery...
You probably just tired. It's getting pretty late.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, maybe I'm just better at magic.
Does anyone have like a light source? Because it is fully nighttime by the time.
I think we have a full dark vision.
Yeah, I think we
party.
are.
everyone has-
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, everyone's fine.
All right, so Bryn will start like gently like pulling and tugging, trying to like manipulate the rope. So if it starts pulling up, it should like not pull as tight until Aery can like push that side down, and we'll try and pull it till it's like really securely tight around the rock.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would say that working together with Ares Arcana and your just brute physical strength, you're able to sort of maneuver the loop around it in such a way that it's pretty snug until you tighten the rope. And as you pull it snug, you can feel that it's a pretty heavy rock. It's probably somewhere around 40 or 50 pounds. Just this dense, solid basketball-sized chunk.
Well, it's fairly heavy for its size, but I think Natalie and I should be able to, between us, just quite easily move it, hopefully.
Maybe
Unless it has something else that's going to give it some kind of resistance if the veins are still attaching it to the tree.
actually, maybe even Oriana too. You know,
Yeah.
I know that you're tired, but maybe it might help.
Many hands make light work.
Exactly, and then at least you know if we, but just might make it a little bit easier. Then we can all go to bed earlier.
You are lucky that Oriana is tired.
Yeah, I know, but Natalie's
Maybe you could help if
trying
you
to be
weren't
nice.
so tired. I know.
Doesn't mean that you'll take it as nice.
Oh, I know. You are lucky she is tired. She'd be like,
Anyway. All right, well, let's just, I guess we'll get in a line and pull it together.
Okay. Everyone who's pulling on the rope, make a strength check with disadvantage.
I'll join in a pull.
Wait, hang on.
Okay.
oh, I feel like it's that dice.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck it. I'm gonna rage for this.
Okay.
Just to
Ah,
get a
angry.
straight roll.
the first one was it doesn't matter, 16 plus nothing.
Uh-huh. And the second one?
No, I mean, the second one was an 18, so I was just not going to say that
Gotcha.
16 was the lower one.
Yep.
But I'd already started speaking. I've also lost my first dice under the table.
Correct.
You'll find it or your puppy will find it. Hey.
12 for Bryn.
Okay.
I got a
Natalie?
14. Mine's not overly great.
14. So Bryn, as you start to pull, you can feel the rest of the rope being pulled behind you, and you have this weird sensation of like you almost feel as if you've just completed a heavy workout. Your muscles suddenly give out as if they're fatigued and exhausted, and you find that you're not actually contributing to the pulling of this rope. However, Natalie and Oriana, the two of you are able to give solid pulls, and there's like a brief moment where you feel the rock almost seem to not pull back, but sort of stay wedged until it kind of like pops free and topples over into the grass about a foot, or I guess the leaves about a foot down away from the base of the trunk. And you can see much more clearly now, the rock is not one like solid, complete boulder. The back half of it that was pressed up against the tree appears to have been like sheared, as if it's split. The sort of sharp corner where the shear kind of runs up to the edge of the rock was sort of wedged up into the bark a small amount. And from that point of contact, you can sort of see like this. You can't really see the color of it, but you assume discoloration around this like small scar where the rock was just kind of wedged up into the tree. And it is from that discoloration that the rest of the sort of black and white veins were growing out from. And Natalie, because you were so close to that area on the other side, you recognize that that scar, that point, is in the exact same spot as that sort of pearl that you pulled from the other side.
Love just piercing a whole other plane with a rock.
Yeah, I don't know much about magic, but that seems like not a good thing to have happened.
Yeah, I don't really understand how all of this works, but that doesn't seem good.
Can Bryn go up and like inspect and see if there's any like shards or anything left in the kind of wound in the tree, like in the puncture wound?
Yeah, so the rock is still like a foot away from it. You would have to walk either close to or move the rock further to be able to examine the tree without getting like the swimmy vision thing.
Did the rope dislodge from the rock, or is that still around it?
So the rock has kind of like fallen over sideways, so the rope is kind of like sliding off a little bit. You reckon you could probably like try to jimmy it away, but you might need to reseat the rope now that it's fallen over.
Aery, do you think that you could help securing the rope again with your mage hands?
Yeah, I can try. I roll again.
Another Arcana check.
I'll try and put it back on. That's a 16 plus 4, so 20.
Absolutely. The hand kind of goes in and just reseats the sort of lasso up on the rock, and there's like a small nick, and the lasso pretty easily loops into it so that the rest of you can sort of pull the rock the rest of the way. And without... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, do we need to roll again? Or
no, yeah. Without difficulty, the rest of you are able to collectively pull it away from the base of the tree such that it's about, I would say maybe 10 feet you pull it away from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of like in the open area between like the legs of the trunk of this tree. And over the course of dragging the rock away from the tree, Oriana, you and Natalie also experience moments of just unexplained weakness pulling the rope and trying to drag this rock out, where you know you have the muscular strength and you have the good grip, but suddenly you pull and your hand just kind of opens up as if like you no longer have control over your fingers. And it is very odd because they seem to be sort of these fleeting, almost like waves. But you do get the rock away from the tree.
Hell, I mean, I think I get why you were so tired. Bloody hell. Apparently I overexerted myself a little today.
Yes, sorry, I didn't really pull my weight on the first pull. I'm not quite sure why, but I don't like the sky rock. I think that's pretty much like that's a safe conclusion that I've come to.
Yeah, we won't blame it on anything else. It's the rock's fault, clearly.
Bryn will now go over to the pierce wound on the tree and just make sure there's like no shrapnel or anything left in it.
Yeah, there does not appear to be any shrapnel within the tree. You're able to get close, and you can already see that now that you've sort of pulled it free, sap is only just now starting to like bead within the wound. Very, very slowly, but there is life in the center of this wound.
I don't think we need to do anything else. I think that it was good that we removed it, though. It's going to help expedite any of the resetting of the natural environment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the trees that Natalie and I freed, they didn't move. That's a really good sign, isn't it?
Oh, they must like you.
Well, I
Maybe
think
they're
it's whether
tired
they...
too.
Well, I think maybe they feel safe again. We did kind of destroy whatever the hell that thing was.
Or maybe they just like you.
I would like to think so. But I do think that we've done a good thing, irregardless.
Well, I mean, it was your insistence that got us to go into the tree in the first place and fix the problem, so...
Well, I can't help if something's asking for help, like the tree was nicely doing. Who would, like... Oh, who would I be if I said no?
No judgment, no judgment. I'm impressed. Did a good thing because you insisted.
Well, it still takes good people to go along with it, so I think that we have an excellent group of companions.
Yeah, like, helping out is really good to be involved and stuff. Being a part of the team and really contribute. No, I'm just being...
Eminence is smiling placidly and maintaining eye contact.
I feel like that's one of those things where you look into deep water and you're like, I know there's something in there, and I know that it's looking at me.
I know she drank a milk.
But we've moved it away from the tree. Is there anything else we want to do?
I mean, I guess we should cook some food. Aery was protesting at his hungriness earlier, and I think everyone did very well to pull their weight today. And even being so hungry, Aery offered assistance with the rope, so I'm happy to cook for us all. Potentially she'll allow us to use her hearth. I don't really want to light a fire out here with all the dry leaf matter and everything.
She is really paying attention to anything that we're doing.
I imagine she'll allow you to do anything as long as we don't get in between her and the rock, or her contract about the rock.
All right, well, I'll go in and see if she'll allow me to use the hearth.
Do we have enough meat and things around, or...?
Oh, yes. No, I still have plenty of Displacer Beast. I don't have any of the kidney fat left. I did use all of that to fry it up this morning, but so it'll be like a little bit drier, but it would be meat rather than just rations.
Yeah, it's got to be better than these stupid rations.
And they're pretty. Look, he tried his best. It was such short notice that he put them all together for us.
Well, he didn't do a very good job, did he?
Well,
I would never tell him not to his face, but they really suck.
Bryn's just gonna like pat Aery like firmly on the shoulder. Well, that's good news, everyone. Aery is going to be in charge of organizing our rations for our next any adventures we set forth on in the future.
Everyone will get chocolate.
I like that idea.
I think I just want to double check on this. I'm pretty sure everyone did get chocolate, and then
we did a little bit as part of it.
Somebody was holding on to the rations, and
I think Bryn held on to the rations for Aery and
Natalie
Eminence.
and I got double rations, not trusting in Aery and Emmy to properly look after themselves in terms of food.
Very fair.
I mean, could get rations, but she has not mentioned these rations to Bryn, who keeps giving them to her.
Bryn will go in.
Yeah. So, yes, looking into the room, you can see that it is well lit. She does have a small, like a baseball-sized blue glass globe that currently is sort of emanating just this warm light, and you can see that it's hanging from like a knit net that just sort of ends. So it's just kind of like hanging in a pouch there. It is a drift globe. That's what it was that I was trying to remember earlier. And it is a way to provide light without fire. And you would probably recognize that this probably costs a pretty penny. probably upwhere of somewhere up of 100, 150 gold. This is not a small thing to have, especially considering how ramshackle this lean-to is.
I'm sorry to interrupt, and Bryn's just like knocking on the.
Welcome. Hi, welcome back.
Would you mind if I borrowed your fire? We were just a little bit hesitant about lighting one outside.
Certainly, it's not going anywhere.
That is the sign of a good fire, if it is not leaving its hearth. And Bryn will just kind of like edge in and just like restoke and like rekindle. She's got her own like pans and stuff.
Yeah. She has a little bit of wood inside to keep dry from the rain, and it doesn't take you too long before you get the fire up to a comfortable heat to where you can put the pans on top of like the small collapsible metal frame and start sizzling up some of the displacer beast.
As she's cooking, she just kind of like, is she paying attention at all to Bryn cooking, or she's still kind of joking?
She kind of like glances over to look at you every now and again. But once you start sizzling up the displacer beast, you can see that every now and again you look over and she's not writing. She's just sort of smelling the freshly cooked meat, and then like slowly just exhaling and then trying to refocus on this contract again. And at this point, she's been working on this thing for the better part of 2.5 hours since you arrived earlier in the day. And the pile of papers is pretty sizable at this point. And this current draft looks to be about 3/4 of a page worth of contents.
Have you ever tried Displacer Beast before?
Sorry, what? What's that?
This is what I'm cooking up at the moment.
I have not. It smells very good. Is it edible for people?
Yes, absolutely. It's a delicacy in many regions. I apologize for the dog in the background. If you can hear that through the mic. It needs to all be cooked up today anyway. I haven't had time to cure any. Would you like to try some?
I think I could do a taste. I would hate to impose.
No, you're allowing me to use your hearth. I really do insist. Unfortunately, I don't have much outside of salt and some herbs that I have been able to acquire on our travels, but I'm not a bad cook, if I can compliment myself, so...
Well, perhaps you might be able to restock with some of mine up in the up on top of the mantle. And looking over, you can see that she does have like a small tin of salt and several small pouches of dried herbs. And you recognize that these herbs it seems like they haven't been touched in about a month or two. They're still dried out. They're not gone bad or anything, but just there is like a small layer of dust over the top of the bags.
Yes, I think I'll be okay with my supplies, but really, if you have such wonderful ingredients at your disposal, you should be adding some spice to your life with your cooking. It's a shame to see that they've gone unused.
Who has the time nowadays with all of the research being done?
But it's very important to nourish yourself. Nutrition means that you can focus more clearly. It's good to sustain not only your body, but your mind.
Yes, it is also very important to nourish yourself intellectually and making sure you get what your mind needs as well, especially as this is a larger expedition.
Well, and she'll like grab some of her own plates and portion some up for her and just place it down on the table next to her. Yeah. Well, having a sort of an iron and protein rich will hopefully help with cognitive function. It's a very well-known thing in the medical field that what you fuel your body with is a first stepping stone to good health.
Thank you very much. I hope to enjoy this. And you can see that she kind of like takes a bite and slowly starts to chew and savor it a little bit, and then kind of tries to swallow and looks at you and just gives a really big smile, like, "Thank you."
You're very welcome. Now, I better get this to Aery. He was already complaining that he's hungry, and Eminence hasn't said anything yet, but I bet if I leave it much longer, she definitely will.
Of course. And as you head outside, just from behind you, from your ears, you can immediately hear the sound of like the fork and the knife immediately just going on the plate, just rapidly attacking what's left of her piece of meat. Yeah.
Having been head stuck into something, and then you're like, food. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Get it.
Dinner's ready, everyone.
Dinner!
And now we should hope that we make it back quickly, because this is the last of our meats. We have no option but to go into rations as of tomorrow.
Yes, regarding making it back, are we planning to take this thing with us, or do we think it's safest here rather than taking it into a densely populated area?
Well, we don't really extent of it yet. I mean, I doubt that she'll be able to make it back on her own without a horse.
Oh, I doubt she'd want to if we don't bring the rock.
No, but if we part ways without taking her, and then she doesn't have the rock, then who's to say it doesn't fall into someone else's hands that have ill intentions with it?
It's been a while since we played. Out of character, the contract that she's writing up, we were going to take the rock to our employers, correct? That's why she's writing a contract.
Essentially. So we'd sent a letter with the like magic paper.
Yeah.
We haven't heard back yet, but it takes the form of a bird and it needs to fly to wherever he is. So it kind of makes sense that we haven't heard back yet. This has been like a couple of hours since we sent the message.
But I think our plan is to take the rock just somewhere where it can be picked up. We could always like hire out a warehouse.
So she, from my recollection, she was making a contract that meant that she had the rights to any scientific discoveries made about the rock. Yeah. So if it's like a new magic or metal or something,
she wanted,
and she had access to it. Yeah.
Yes, and the opportunity for her to examine it herself.
So
we could put her and a rock in a warehouse that's not accessible by the public, and then we don't have to worry quite so much about the headachy magic stuff.
Even we could bring it close. We don't need to keep it in the town.
That's true.
Yes,
I mean,
that would work.
Once we are out of the thick of the forest, there's plenty of clearings along the main thoroughfare that we'll be able to safely camp.
The lady who is in the graveyard. She's on the way.
Satine.
Yeah, maybe we could see her and see if she can store it with her.
I mean,
she might know what to do.
Be an idea.
And then, obviously Jana can stay with her.
Satine also wanted us to investigate what was going on in the forest, so I'm sure this would be very interesting information for her.
Exactly. We can go back and tell her what we found.
Yes, and then it becomes her problem. I like it.
Not quite. More, I was thinking that. Yeah, it kind of does pass it over, doesn't it?
Yes, good plan. Let's do it.
I think
also not exactly the reason that we're here. Remember, we're being paid to investigate something entirely different that may or may not
but
be
we
related
have agreed that we were going to be doing this for silence so that we could grant audience with the king, or like grant favor with the king, as he's unwell now, as to show our dedication and our good faith. We said that we would investigate this and see if we could resolve it. And then once the king is in better health, we will be able to potentially get an audience with him.
Not to mention, Satine also mentioned that if we could solve this, she'd have more to talk with us about regarding the whole statue thing, which is still relevant to our overarching goal.
Yes, exactly. I think Satine is a good idea. Then we can ask her more about the statues. Leave Jana with someone who can supervise her,
Yeah.
which I believe she needs.
At least that's a good stop on the way back, right?
Yes.
I would agree.
Well, then it's a plan.
Do we need to tell the people that we're going places? How are they going to find us?
But I think that you mean for the message?
Well, yeah.
I think if to find us, it would have like our magical signature or something, because all the letters, I mean, mine found me, the little bird paper found me when I was traveling around the region.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we said, oh, hey, come look at this thing. We've got a cool
I
thing.
think we were inquiring as to if it would be of interest to them to have and observe. I don't think we had given, we said where we were, but we did not organize a pickup point for them.
True. More I was thinking, it's super interesting, and then they're like, whoa, let's go check it out right now, and then we fuck off.
They could send us a message if they want to talk to us.
True, communication is key.
This party will never learn that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
well,
guess.
should we?
Words that you see on a motivational poster that none of us really understand.
Yeah.
Communication.
Yeah, that won't
Natalie
stop us
says-
because we can't read.
No, as Natalie says, communication is key. Just smash cut to that like random NPC that we kept trying to bring on our adventures and forgetting to tell him where we were, twiddling his thumbs in the
It's not
tavern.
our fault that he didn't have an easy way of talking to him, you know?
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah,
leave a calling
we
address.
always forgot to ask, but he also never told us.
Yeah.
Should we look to retiring for the evening anyway? I think everyone's had a bit of a day. The fights take it out of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't imagine we're all going to fit in Jana's hut. I suppose we should set up out here.
How's the temperature?
So it is shortly after spring. It's a little bit cooler than if you were outside of the wood, and the hills don't exactly help, especially this like deep in the shade. Effectively, now that you're at the heart of the deep wood. That said, whereas you would expect it to be a bit more chill, there is almost like a passive warmth to this particular area of the deep wood. Almost like on top of a like a steam vent or a hot spring or something. Just the ground itself is just passively warm.
I don't like that.
Is that a notable change as to after we removed the rock? Like, was it?
No, it was definitely there prior. It wasn't something that became noticeable until the sun went down.
Okay.
Just as a sort of, I guess it's still kind of warm here. Yeah.
Like, we didn't notice that there was like residual warmness till the
Because
source
the
of warmness
sun was
went
up.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, but I think that it's still a good idea for us to be taking watches, even though this is the imminent danger seems to have passed. It's still the middle of an enchanted forest.
We still need that rock.
True.
Shall
I mean,
we-
no,
I think we should set up a little ways away from the rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that we'd be like just near where the hut is, like because the rock was on the other side of the
Yeah.
hut.
Mhm.
So if we like go on the other side, that's away from the rock, like.
Because
Around
it's
the trees.
behind from where we entered, I think, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
directly
Yeah.
behind. So if we go in
feel
the way
like we should-
came in.
Still be in like view of it.
So we could do like on the outside of the hut, so we're not around the trunk of the big tree, but we're like a ways away from it, so it's still in eyesight.
Sure.
Gotcha. Excellent.
God, look at that rock.
Yeah, I know. Even just talking about getting ready to rest for the evening is getting everyone all nice and tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't stop
Yeah.
yawning.
The 5 of you set up camp within eyesight of the rock, but a good distance away. Your sleeping bags down on the grass and dried leaves from up above. But again, no like decay or rot underneath it. It just seems to be like almost a soft bed of leaves, as if they had only just fallen. Who is taking first watch?
Bryn's happy too.
I would very much
Okay.
like to take last watch, as I'm pretty sure I failed 2 death saves.
Yeah, I think you need a good sleep.
I would like to do the sleeping before I do the watching.
As soon as it's obvious that Oriana's getting ready for bed, I'd like to jump at the chance to take first watch.
Okay. Yeah. You finish off the rest of your dinner and set yourself down for camp, and it is Oriana and Bryn at first watch.
Eminence and Bryn.
Eminence.
Eminence and Bryn. Ah! It's a new year!
If it doesn't happen once a session.
Yeah, we
At
even
least you
play.
are sisters, you know? Like,
Yeah. If it would be worse if you were unrelated. Either way, Eminence and Bryn are prepared to take first watch. Is there anything the rest of you would like to do before bedtime?
Just sleep.
Great. Can I get a perception check from the both of you, or one of you with advantage?
I imagine we're both kind of doing our own thing, aren't we?
Unless Emmy is instigating, Bryn probably wouldn't push conversation tonight.
All right.
Dirty. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
Were we doing separate?
I have an idea of what you were about to say, and I know what I rolled. Yeah, I will do separate. Eminence got a... What is my perception? Like, I got a 6.
And Dirty 20.
Excellent. Yeah, as it gets darker and darker and the sun disappears further behind the planet, I suppose, you realize that there isn't a whole lot of natural light. The moon hasn't quite fully risen yet, so there is just the residual light of the stars peeking through the branches up above of this massive tree. You can still see that rock off in the distance, I would say about 30 feet away from it, so that you can still sort of make it out clearly, but presumably far enough away from it. And the only other light that you can see is coming from the small window of Jana's hut on the other side of the sort of tree leg, and you can just see the bright yellow square kind of pointing out onto the grass as she still appears to be awake and busily working.
So are we still in an area where there seems to be an unnatural lack of life? Like there's no little mice skittering around or bugs?
Yeah.
Like that?
There was only the sound of the wind and the two of you conversing. There are no insects, there are no birds, there are no animals. It is exclusively the two of you, and it is still just strangely as if the air has sort of this gravity to it. It is just the two of you.
Well, this must be somewhat uncomfortable for you. I don't know where you grew up, but you do seem to have an affinity for nature in general.
Well, nature comes in various forms, and a lack of wildlife and plant life and noise. It's something that I'm still used to in an in a respect. But I hope it's not making you too uncomfortable.
No, I'm very much used to being in a place that doesn't have the kind of life that one would normally find in a forest.
Well, as much as I find the forest very comforting and very pleasant, nature has many different forms of beauty and environment. You'll work with the best with what we have.
Does this feel natural to you?
Yes and no. Although it's only been like a recent thing, really learning about different dimensions and things like that. From what I've ascertained about Fae and other planes of existence, what is not normal to me doesn't mean it's not normal. It may just be something I haven't experienced yet.
Well, it's certainly not normal for this plane of existence, and that does worry me.
Well, the trees have stopped moving, and we haven't been jumped by them yet, so that is probably a good sign.
You can't tell what they're thinking? You seemed very attuned to them before.
Well, they don't talk back, but, you know, they packed a punch, but I don't think that they really, it was because of who we were that they were like, you know, breaking my ribs and stuff.
They broke your ribs?
Well, something cracked in a weird way, and I'm not, like, I'm good at healing, and so that's usually not a noise that you want bones to make. But I think maybe it had, like, just popped one of the ribs out a little bit versus breaking it. But it went back in, and it just hurt a lot, but then the pain got less, but still hurt.
Uh-huh.
What about you? You were there.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm quite all right. Thank you. I'm quite capable of looking after myself.
Yes, the very expedited retreat, very tactical. We seem to have it covered with the firepower, so it's always good to have someone in reserve should something go wrong.
I can tell when I'm being condescended to, you know.
I can tell when someone is quite capable and chooses not to act. You know, you're welcome to correct me if you think that I'm being unreasonable.
I don't think you've ever been unreasonable a day in your life, Brynjael. But thank you.
We all have our reasons for our actions, and Bryn's just kind of lean back. She's leaning against like the big main tree in the clearing.
You realize as you kind of lean up against it that that tree is also warm. And it's not hot. It doesn't burn or scald or anything. It doesn't make you sweat. It's just this comfortable warmth. Like when you wake up in the morning to get a glass of water and then get back into bed and your covers are still warm. It's just this very passive warmth.
Bryn's just gonna, in Sylvan, whisper to the tree, I hope you're feeling better.
Eminence mutters in Infernal. I know other languages too.
Bryn just ignores whatever she said because she doesn't speak Infernal.
I can shit talk you in 7 languages.
Yeah, I don't think Emmy's going to be instigating any more conversation.
Yeah, neither's Bryn. She's said
Good
her
chat.
piece and she's just chilling, vibing.
Good chat, good chat.
Your watch passes without incident. About 2 hours pass, and the moon slowly starts to rise up. It's still midway up the horizon, has a ways to go before it reaches its zenith, but it is casually rising. Who is on next watch?
That would be me. And because Oriana is doing last watch, I would assume they'd go together.
Okay. You are woken by Eminence and Bryn. And you've got single watch duty again.
Oh, yeah, I did this last time. Okay,
It
I'm very
happens.
comfortable with my own thoughts.
Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
I thought you were going to be like, Constitution check. I was going to be like, what?
Constitution saving throw.
Correct.
Ooh, that's not bad. It's not like the best, but it's not bad. I just gotta check what my modifier is. It's 20 plus 1, so that's 14.
14. Okay. About 20 or so minutes, maybe 30 minutes into your watch, the bright yellow square of light coming out of Janna's lean-to goes out. And shortly thereafter, you hear the sounds of like clinking and rustling, and then it is quiet. Is there anything that you want to do or look at during the course of your watch?
I think just she would be kind of doing her standard like post thing. She'd have her axe like head onto the ground holding the half with her
Hilt.
hand.
Yeah.
And just kind of watching over everything, you know, like kind of steady stance, straight backed, absolutely still, but just ever watchful out into
Looking left,
everywhere.
looking right. Yeah.
Exactly. And just kind of methodically going through it, you know, the minute that like she sees any kind of like wind moving through a tree a little bit too fast or something, she'll just be like, what? But
So with a 14 perception check, you do see that it looks like Oriana and Aery are a little restless as far as the other watches which you have seen. Bryn and Eminence are still sort of settling in, but your watch passes without incident.
I would imagine just like kind of as her mind like slowly begins to wander and she like thinks about things, she might be like looking off into the distance and kind of like imagining past there, kind of trying to think about like any kind of like mountain ranges or anything along those lines. Just kind of like trying to spy through the trees how much she can see from here, even though she knows she's in a basin. There's like nothing close here. But just kind of
So
looking at
you do know that there is, in fact, a mountain range far to the northeast, and you imagine that this mountain range is what the foot of this mountain range far over to the east is what feeds into these hills. Because it's sort of in between this mountain range and the deep wood. I guess if it's like over here, you've got like your mountain range, and then you've got like the deep wood down here.
Yeah.
You've got the flats, and then Valetaires at the bottom, and all of that stuff. So you're looking in the right direction, but from this distance at nighttime, you do not see any mountains.
I mean, obviously, you might not actually have a name for a mountain range, but
so the town at the foot of this mountain range is Frovale. You know that somewhere along the way is a much smaller settlement called the Pot. And this mountain range is called Pikes. Pikes. And it is named after the first explorer to successfully chart all of the mountains within the range because it is very densely populated.
And I would imagine it's probably like human or elven or something.
Primarily Orcish.
Oh, nice.
In this mountain range.
Sweet. But yeah, she's just kind of like recently she's spent a lot of time in forests, but she's kind of missing the mountains.
Yeah. The hills perhaps maybe exacerbate that longing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, she's sitting at the bottom of something right now. It's really
Yeah.
making her feel smaller, and she's used to feeling on top of the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
Your watch passes, and you wake Aery and Oriana. And Aery and Oriana, the two of you wake like on the wrong side of the bed. Just bleary-eyed and not fully centered, and like you know sometimes when you wake up and your eyes are just all poofy for like no reason, and you're like, I can see, I swear to God, but your eyes just refuse to cooperate. It's things were not, you don't feel as well rested as you feel like you usually do.
That doesn't bode well.
No.
But we're gonna make the excuse that we've been making all yesterday since the fight. Oriana's like, well, I did almost die. Hasn't happened before.
Well, does Ariana actually say anything about it? Or no?
No,
She just made that to herself. I'll Aery be like, I feel like shit.
Me too.
I think it's a rock.
Would actually make sense.
I don't like that rock. Bryn was right.
We set up like where we could see the rock, so you're just gonna just glare at it a little bit, like
Yeah. Look angry at that rock.
Can I get a perception check from the two of you?
12 plus 6 is 18, right?
Wow, that's very good.
I'm so good at math.
And Oriana?
15.
15. Okay. Yeah. The both of you like look at the rock, and again, nothing's moving. There's no birds. There's no sounds. So anything, if there was anything, it would just be so easy to spot or hear or something. And what catches your attention isn't actually the rock or an animal or a bird, but Bryn and Eminence appear to be restless. Maybe every 5 or 6 minutes, one of them turns over, and then the other one turns over. Just that can't get comfortable, arm under the head, constantly shifting. Natalie does appear to be still.
She's dead.
Is that a thing you say out loud?
No. Nobody can sleep tonight.
No.
Well, except Natalie, apparently. I'm gonna go check and make sure Natalie's alive.
Make a medicine check.
Not good at that. That's an 11, though. 14. That's not so bad.
14. She appears to be breathing. She appears to have like just fallen asleep. So as you walk over, she kind of like starts a little bit and then readjusts.
It's okay. She's not dead.
Were we worried that she was dead? She
You
just woke
were?
us up.
You never know.
I feel like she's definitely too young to just die in her sleep.
You don't know that? And also, maybe if something was wrong, I feel like she wouldn't want to worry us, so she would just say nothing and go to bed.
That
Are
actually.
they saying this like fairly loudly as well?
No.
Like having
I
just
did
gone to
that
bed,
conversation, but, like-
moving over.
I mean, Aery did just kind of walk over on top of you.
I whispered the sheep not dead, and that was it.
Make a what? Actually, what's your passive perception, Natalie?
My passive perception is 11.
11. You hear like snatches where you think they're talking about you, but you can't quite make out what it is.
She's just gonna grumble and go back to sleep. Like a
You'll be
little
like, ah!
growling.
And move away.
Oh boy. Yeah. Your watch passes without incident as the moon rises overhead for about 20 minutes. At which point, Aery and you, Oriana, both hear movement. You hear the sound of someone walking. And it is, again, that sort of incredible contrast of it is so quiet, but for your breathing and your quiet conversation, that the moment there is something else, it is just brilliantly stark compared to everything else. And very clearly, something is moving over by Jana's Lean 2. However, there is no light. It is still dark.
Pitch black dark or regular dark?
Regular dark. Like the moon is above, giving just a little bit of illumination. Not enough for you to get color with your dark vision. It is still black and white, but you can see your full dark vision distance.
With the sound, did it feel like, because if there's like no other noise, did it feel like it like faded in as if it was like coming towards us, or we just started hearing steps like around the hut?
It sounds like you've just started hearing steps, as if someone either stepped out of the hut or was directly adjacent to, and just took a step and started walking around. That puppy really wants to be.
There's a dog on a desk.
Yes, she really wants some attention.
Can I try and peek around at the hut and see if I can?
Yeah, absolutely.
See what happens?
Are you trying to make your way stealthily across the leaves, or are you just walking over?
I would like to be stealthy. I'm not good at it, but I'll try.
Make a stealth check.
Better at stealth than I am.
Oh, that's an 18.
Wow.
I have a feeling I have a minus on that. No, I have a 0, so it's just an 18.
Hey, 18 is still good. Or you watch as Aery just kind of creeps his way up to the leg and then slowly maneuvers along the leg until it kind of descends down a little bit to where you can get clearance to go and look around to the other side. And down a small ways past this leg, you do see the hut. And you see several shapes, humanoid, about 4.5, 5 feet tall, currently sort of just congregating in front of the hut. And as you watch, they do appear to have feet, yes. As you watch, you can see that they are just kind of waiting for something. And all of a sudden, from the soil in front of the hut, you see a hand just kind of reach up out of the soil and grab onto the side, and then another hand reach up and slowly another one of these.
I want to point at Oriana and send a message. Let me see, what do I do with that? I'm pretty sure I just point and then I can whisper a message. Yes, I whisper a message. Yeah, and my message would be like, oh my god, there's lots of short people here and someone's crawling out of the ground. I don't know what's happening. I'm pretty sure it's actually happening and I'm not asleep right now. You're muted.
Yeah, I think you're switched.
And then muted yourself when you start speaking.
Fuck. Obviously almost making kitchen noises. Message is the one that you can reply to, yeah?
Yes, you can whisper a reply back.
You can reply to this message.
I'm actually not going to reply. I'm just going to attempt to meet him over there. Because
if she doesn't reply, he's going to send another message and be like, ah!
Are you just going to walk over, or are you trying to be stealthy?
Look, I would love to try and be stealthy, but I have disadvantage on that, and Oriana knows. So,
so you're just going to walk over?
Just going to walk over. Like, slowly, not going to, like, run, because that would be super jingly, but just, like, a walk.
Why don't you go ahead and roll a stealth check for me anyways?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay. One is a 10. Can I do worse than that? No, they're both 10s.
Hey, nice.
And the -1, so they're both 9s.
Nice. Yeah, Aery, you like look back over. You're not too far away, and you just see the armored figure of Oriana just trying to as quietly as possible, just clink, 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 Scooby Doo walk over towards you. And she does join you, and the creatures on the other side do not appear to have noticed. By this point, from your vantage point, you can see that the hands have kind of like reached up onto the soil, and then from it, this kind of head pulls itself up out to like the shoulders, and then push itself up, and then two of the other humanoid creatures kind of come over and scoop it under the arms and pull it free from the ground. So there is now a total of 5 of them.
Oh, so it's like it's another creature like them is coming out of the ground?
Yes.
That's weird, right?
Yeah. Did she plant dwarves? Are they dwarves?
I don't know. It's not how dwarves are born. They just pull themselves out of the ground. I'm pretty sure that's not right.
How far away from them are we currently?
Probably around 40, 45 feet. They're sort of at the edge of your dark vision. You, as you're kind of watching, engaging this, you see one of them almost kind of casually walks up to the lean-to over to the window, and then without looking, kind of like reaches in and kind of reaches around for a little bit, and then kind of pulls something out, and you could hear metal jingling a little bit.
Can I see what they pulled out if I try to look?
It appears to just be a small box in their hand.
Huh.
And goes and walks over to the others. At this point, you can see that the others, they haven't really said anything. They're kind of looking at each other and looking around at the ground. And then one by one, they all reach to their sides and pull out sort of these sort of wicked looking scimitars, notched and barbed, and very clearly not in good shape. Even from a distance, you can see that these are like not high quality weapons. And they start walking off, just heading out into the basin.
That doesn't seem. Should we let them go? We should wake the others, surely.
I did it again. I muted instead of unmuting. There were 5 of them in the end.
Yes.
There wasn't anybody else coming out of the ground?
But you could see.
They obviously haven't run off without Rock. I genuinely don't know. Do you think we should wake them?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna point at Natalie, and I don't know if it works if she's asleep. But I'm gonna try and yell, whisper. Natalie, wake up! There's tiny little men and they're stealing things and running off into the woods.
So it is a whisper.
Yeah.
That's
why I said I'm trying to yell in a whisper.
But also try to do that in a character voice. Like.
Yeah. Why don't you just roll like a flat charisma for me? There.
An 11, plus 8.
Holy jeez. You have plus 8 charisma?
Yeah.
Did you do persuasion instead of actually charisma?
Oh no, sorry, that's saving throws. So, plus 4.
Plus 4. 15. Okay, so 15. Yeah, Natalie, you kind of start halfway through the message, and it sounds like Aery is whispering right in your ear once again.
So, just because I like to do things whenever I can, because she has the athlete feet, can she literally just fucking like yeet up onto her feet and just grab her ass?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna do that. Gonna get fuck ready, and I'll just shake the shoulders of Eminence and Bryn. I don't know why I suddenly forgot what your name was. I was like, who's here?
Who's that person?
And I would imagine that probably then what you hear back is just me being like, "Oh shit, wake up, wake up!" So you just hear that back in a message.
Yeah. The rest of
and-
you are woken fairly quickly.
Yeah, if I know that she's up, I'm going to try and follow at a safe distance the
Okay.
people running into the woods.
What do you think a safe distance is?
I don't know, I'm an idiot.
What does Aery think a safe distance is?
That was what I meant.
Okay, so
if we're currently 45 feet behind them, stay about 45 feet behind them?
Yeah, I guess about probably the distance we are, but I want to not completely lose. I mean, it should be fairly easy, I guess, if it's very quiet and I can hear them moving around.
Mhm.
But I just don't want to like lose them.
Yeah. You see them kind of walking off into the basin, and you start slowly trying to like creep after them. There's not a lot of cover here around the base of the big tree. There aren't a whole lot of these smaller trees. So there is sort of this brief moment of vulnerability when you initially pursue them. If they turn around, they would very likely see you if they had some form of dark vision. But they do not turn around, and you're able to creep after them a little bit. And they go about 50 or so feet towards one of the trees that Bryn and Natalie freed the nails from earlier. And you watch as they kind of arrive at the base of the tree. They just kind of talk at each other. And then one of them looks, and Aery, you can hear. And then a moment later, you hear like that jingling sound of metal, and then one of them kind of kneels over, and you start to see the ones behind it, like, have you seen those like rice workers where they like pound the rice in unison? Like one pounds and pulls the hammer back, and then the next one pounds. So it's like.
Oh, yeah.
You watch as they do that, and suddenly there are just 5 quick like ting 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 tings that just ring out and kind of hum out through the air, and then the other one kind of reaches over and pulls another sort of metal thing out once again, and a few moments later there's another
absolutely clap
ting, ting,
these
ting, ting, ting.
motherfuckers.
As they appear to be putting nails back in the trees, and they, judging from the way that they're moving, they do not appear to be happy about it.
Okay.
At this point, Bryn, Eminence, and Natalie, the 3 of you catch up with Oriana. You can just, Oriana, if you did not pursue Aery, you can just see him about 50 feet away at the edge of your vision, just kind of staying low and watching off into the dark. And you also,
behind a tree.
Yeah, the rest of you also just hear like these 4 like ting 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 a small way off.
What is going on? What is happening?
There are some small people. I don't know what this ding ding is, but they stole a box out of the hut. One of them climbed out of the ground like it had been planted there and was like hatching or something.
That's very concerning.
Did it look undead?
I missed that, sorry.
Did it look undead?
Did I don't know.
I think I would kind of just assume that something that crawled out of the ground was undead, but can I roll for what, like, if I would have known?
I mean, you weren't too far away. I think you can roll like maybe nature or history or religion, I think.
Yeah. I can pick any of those?
Whichever you think is most appropriate.
Okay. I don't even know. Ugh. I'm fucking myself by doing this. I feel like it's probably a religion thing, so that's a +1.
Okay. All right, what'd you get?
15.
15?
If I'd gone with history, I would have got a 17.
They
But I
don't
think
appear to have been undead. The movements were smooth and continuous, which is usually indicative of living creatures. There was no unearthly glow to any of them. They didn't seem to appear undead. But it was 50 feet away in the dark.
I don't think they were undead. However, buried in the ground. I don't know.
Well, that is somehow even more concerning.
Maybe they're literally planted, though. They don't have to be undead to be plant.
We've been here for most
creatures.
of the day, which means they must have been here for most of the day in the ground.
Maybe they're like growing.
It didn't look like they were growing. It looked like they were just crawling out of it. Oh wait, I'm not with you. Never mind.
Well, like
I
a,
didn't
like
say
a,
pipe
a
up and
carrot,
shout.
you know, that grows in the ground, and then eventually it's ready to go, and then
Plant carrots. We
rolls
should
out.
probably be walking.
Chana was growing those mushrooms. The strange looking mushrooms where nothing else around here is growing.
Oh, that's I thought.
Do you think that she did that on purpose? Is this some rock bullshit?
It doesn't seem
could very
natural,
easily be
whatever's going
bullshit.
on.
Good
Are
point.
there like holes where these guys crawled out? Like, is it
Do you
like
head over to the front of the hut?
yeah? I think Bryn would have gone
Okay.
to like where it was.
Yeah, as you sort of start walking along the root of the tree over towards the hut, you do see that the soil is disturbed. And as you get closer, you can also more accurately identify where they came from. And they do appear to be growing directly out of like that mushroom garden. Not to the left of it, not to the right, not nearby the door, but like from the patch of mushrooms.
And I think that's definitely something that we should be asking Jana in the morning. Why she started growing these mushrooms, but should we go and help Aery?
Yeah, as you've walked over to the hut, I will have started following Aery. Jingle
Mhm.
jangling all the way.
Oh yeah, if
Clink,
Aery
clink,
sees like
clink.
the group, he'll point back again and send message because it's a cantrip, so I can abuse it as much as I want. And just be like, they're putting them back in the trees.
Would that be at Bryn because she cares most about the trees, or
Just in the direction, and whoever it hits, it hits.
I would imagine that we would have, or at least Natalie would have suggested to, like, if we have someone who's further away, that someone would be within, like, that 60-foot range to someone else that's within a 60-foot range. So even if we're, like, separated, we still can see someone. So, like,
Yeah,
I guess
so-
whoever's at the front.
Right now, the three of you, Eminence, Natalie, and Bryn, you can see Oriana and just at the edge of your vision just make out Aery.
Yeah.
And Aery, you can sort of blurrily make out the rest of the party in the distance, but you can see Oriana the most closely. And as you are walking over with your stealth, as you're kind of like trying to not make noise with your armor, Aery, you watch as one of them kind of like perks up a little bit and starts looking around. And let me double check. Yeah. As the small humanoid starts looking around, you can see the head kind of like turns in your direction. And you hear,
Duck behind the tree.
and some of them continue to communicate with each other. And then
They're
it
cute.
gets really quiet. And you can just
Alright.
hear Oriana's clinking.
Can I
walking.
like hold up a hand to her? Like to stop clinking.
I will stop clinking if I see Aery be like, stop clinking.
Yeah, I would say you're probably about 15 feet away from the tree that Aery's like hiding behind.
Okay.
And looking past, you don't see anything.
Didn't see any.
I mean, there are the trees and the rest of the basin, but looking to where you heard the noise, you no longer see the humanoids.
Oh no.
Can I peek back around the tree?
Yeah, you take a look.
They're gone.
They don't appear to be there anymore.
Gonna clink on over to Aery and be like, that was fucking weird.
Clink, clink, clink.
Yeah, I think that they heard you and ran away.
That's unfortunate.
So, you didn't hear the sound of running away, or the sound of walking away.
Oh. Uh-oh. Maybe they went back into the ground.
Are there any new holes in the ground?
From this distance, looking around, none that you can see. Bryn, Natalie, Eminence, you can see Aery and Ori are currently whispering to each other behind a tree.
Bryn would have, after inspecting the like garden, gone over as well.
Yeah. Give me a stealth roll, please. Yep.
Would we all need to? Because we're kind of. I would
Yeah,
imagine
please.
we're kind of like trying to regroup.
Yeah. In the dark.
Yeah. Okay.
10.
Okay.
14.
Bryn also has
18.
disadvantage.
Clink, clink. And that was an 18 for Eminence?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Eminence, you glide over across the top of the leaves and barely make a noise. Natalie, you're accustomed to this environment, so you're able to keep it to a minimum. But sure enough, bringing up the back, clinking and clanking and aware of every single noise that she's making, Bryn finally groups up with the rest of you. And the 5 of you are now behind this tree.
So a
Where
lot
did
of
they
little
go?
people, I don't know, they were like nailing the tree and then they heard Ori coming and then they were just gone.
They were nailing the tree back in.
Yes, they were. And I was like, oh, Bryn is going to have something to say about this. But now they're gone, so I don't know who you want to talk to.
Bryn is going to walk over to the tree that they were just nailing back in.
Yeah, you ka-clink, ka-clank, ka-clink, ka-clank. It doesn't take you too long before you're at the foot of the tree, and sure enough, in the base of the tree, you can see 4 iron nails embedded in the roots. 2 of them kind of like bent at an awkward and haphazard angle, as if it was just rapidly smashed into the tree and not efficiently battered in.
Is the box of nails on the ground? Or is that gone as well? And are there any like disturbances? Like, are there any holes in like at the base of the tree?
Looking at the ground, there don't appear to be any holes. And as you look at the ground, a single nail just falls down into the leaves beside you.
Bryn looks up.
And up above you, about 30 feet in the tree, the 5 creatures and just immediately leap out of the tree all at once to attack you. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. But first, we're going to go ahead and take a break.
Oh, shit.
Didn't
Bye.
assume at all that they could be in the trees.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Never
I just
occurred.
figured they did the weird feet Beyblading thing
Oh.
and just yeeted.
They bladed themselves into the distance.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway.
Well, at least it was our tank. Well, one of our tanks who looked into it.
Yeah, who's going to be there? We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. I would say come back after a certain amount of time, but we never stick to that.
Yeah,
So
we'll come back.
Just come
Probably.
back after a
Come
certain amount of
back.
time.
We'll come back.
take a short rest. We'll be back.
Bye. blam blam.
Blam blam blam. Welcome back, everybody. Roll for initiative, players.
Yay.
Yes.
I'd much rather I didn't.
Guess what I got?
A 1?
Natural 1.
Natural.
Hey.
Nat 1.
I got a natural 20.
I got 22.
Wow.
So mine's
I got a
21.
4.
I got a
Okay.
4, but I have a -1 on that, so I got a 3.
That means I have a 6.
Excellent.
Real good.
Okay, Bryn, what'd you get?
21.
21. Eminence.
22.
22. Oriana.
3.
Aery.
What?
Natural 1? Or just 1?
Yeah, just one.
Okay.
Plus nothing. Just one.
Natalie.
I got a 6.
6. Okay. I really got to get this tab problem under control. I like have a tab that I need to refer to, and I'm just like, which one is it? Oh fuck, there's 20 open now. How did that happen? Okay. So, Bryn, you watch as they get a surprise round. They leap out of the tree and immediately start heading towards you. 3 of them leap down towards you, and as you are close now, directly underneath them, you recognize these creatures. Large, crimson cap over the back of their head, just angry humanoid expression like a caricature of a person, and on their feet, solid iron boots. As they swing down with these wicked scimitars, they are going to start making some attacks against you. That is natural 1, which misses. 18 and 22.
They both hit.
Okay.
Seeing as they've chosen to clear the distance and are entering my attack range, am I able to get a reaction?
On surprise. So they're taking a surprise round. So they are going to finish their round before you get your action and your reaction.
Does reaction have to fall on your turn, though? Like,
I think you need to get your turn before you get your reaction. You need to get the time to center yourself to be able to respond.
Because I'm essentially incapacitated for a surprise round.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
That's the way I view it.
Fair.
But that is what was that? 9 slashing damage, and I've forgotten what I rolled for the other one. 9 slashing damage. So 18 for the first one that attacks you. And then that is a 12, a 16, and a 24 to hit.
To hit.
The second one, yeah.
The second one hits. Wait, so they're 22 attacks each?
So they get 3 attacks each.
Okay.
Holy
So armor
shit.
class 17.
Armor class 17. Okay, so
Wait,
only
sorry,
one
so
of those.
18 damage was taken.
Yep.
In their first round, or just one of them?
From one of them.
Okay.
And now the next one is coming in. Well, that's 2 natural ones. That's 6 slashing damage from the second of them.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, the third one drops down for 3 attacks. 9, 11, and 18. So only the 18 hits.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is 8 slashing damage. So 6 and 8 is 14 plus 18 is 32 total damage of slashing. Yeah, the rest of you watch as they just drop down like bats out of the trees. 3 of them just immediately start slashing at Bryn, and though she's got her armor and she's trying to put up a defensive bastion, there are just these wicked gashes that start appearing in the side of her. One of them, yeah, I think the other 2 are going to Beyblade themselves out of the tree at the other tree. So Aery, you have half cover, I think I'll say, because you're kind of like, you were peeking a little bit. And was anybody else peeking, or was it just Aery?
I'm not entirely sure where Oriana.
Sorry, I didn't get to the beat fast enough.
in regards to the tree that she was speaking to Aery, she probably isn't in cover, honestly, because they disappeared.
Yeah.
Eminence is undercover either. They're all kind of looking for these little bastards.
Yeah. Well, in that case, they're going to decide who they attack.
God, I hate being honest. I wish I was behind some cover.
One of them throws themselves at Oriana, and one of them throws themselves at Aery, who is behind the tree. And you watch as they pull back their leg, and just with the sheer force of their kick, just start spinning through the air. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, Oriana, and make a dexterity saving throw with advantage, Aery.
Gonna need it. That's a 4. That's a 5.
An 18, but it's -1, so it's 17.
17 is fine. So you get a 17. You hear the familiar sound once again. You immediately look up and see it and just kind of duck as it flies over your head and hits the ground 10 feet behind you. Aery, on the other hand, was watching the wrong one. It was like, oh, that's not going to hit me. And then another one just smashes in. You take... let's see, 20 bludgeoning damage from this as it collides into you, the massive iron boot just colliding with your chest, and you are knocked prone as the creature falls to the ground next to you. And now we enter into initiative. Eminence, you are up first.
Okay. I would like to fire Eldritch Blast. I have 2 beams, so I'd like to fire, if they're both in my line of sight, one at the one that's throwing itself at Aery and one at the one that's throwing itself at Ori.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's get some attack rolls.
Okay. So I selected some cool things with Eldritch Blast. I don't remember how they work exactly, but I have a +6 to hit. So
that's pretty good.
It would be if it weren't an 11.
That's still a... Oh, well, no, that doesn't hit.
Yeah.
I was about to say 11 + 6 is great. What are you talking about? And what's the other one to hit?
Oh, yeah, sorry, it's for each of them. Oh, that's a 26.
Nice. On a nat 20?
Nat 20.
Yeah, so that's double the damage roll.
Oh, okay. Now, what the hell is my damage roll? This will be fun. It is 1d10 force damage, and then I have a +3.
So that's 2d10 + 3.
2d10 + 3 for my level.
Just keep in mind, we haven't technically finished our long rest, have we?
Nope.
Oh.
Some of us have, haven't we?
Nope.
Well, I only need
8 hours of sleep, but I think
I only need 4 for a long rest.
For game
the last watch, they did, didn't they?
Yeah.
So for the mechanics of a long rest, it's like 6 uninterrupted hours is what it's technically in the book. I have been doing it as you finish a long rest whenever you finish a full night. So if you do like 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours awake on watch, 3 hours of sleep, that's like a long rest. So for those of you who slept 6 hours and are waking up now, you still need 2 more hours to finish that long rest, even if you are an elf that meditates, because that's game mechanics.
The point in even being an elf only means half rest.
You're awake for half the night?
I still have had a short rest, though, haven't I?
Yes, you have had short rest.
Okay, as long as I get my pact magic back, which I do. So that was a 6. 9 + 6 + 3.
15 + 9 is 24 points of damage. And which one is this? The one that's just threw itself at Aery, or the one that threw itself at Ori and missed?
I didn't mention. I missed the first one and got the second one. I didn't mention which one it hits.
Which one do you want this one to hit?
My sister.
Okay.
Not one attacking my sister.
Like, which did it hit of the gnomes? Oh, no.
It hit my sister. Yeah, the blast smashes into one of the creatures on the ground. As it's like getting up, it crashes into the side, and you see the head just kind of like cracks over, and the eyes kind of blink wildly for a moment as it is temporarily dazed. Excellent. Okay, that brings us to Bryn.
Yes. So first, as a bonus action, Bryn is going to cast Shield of Faith on herself.
Yep.
And then she's going to take 2 attacks on. She's going to pick on the one that missed its attacks first. I think which was the one that landed first, and she's going to
Yeah.
attack it twice.
Okay.
I think +7 to 2. So 19 and 25.
Jeez, both of those hit. And that's not a nat 20?
No, she's got a +7 to hit.
Damn.
Um,
Feels paladin.
just hit a couple of times and take a lot of hits. That's what I'm gathering. First one is 11 slashing damage, and the second one is. I said roll. Sorry, I'm using the D&D Beyond one. Ooh, 14 slashing damage.
Jeez. That is 25 points of damage as you get your massive polearm and just swing it across this creature. The sheer momentum of the massive blade gouges deep. Anything else?
Nope, she just holds her ground.
Excellent. It is their turn again, and they are going to continue to swing at you, but they have you pretty effectively surrounded, so 2 of them are going to get advantage. And one of them will not. So we'll do without advantage first. That is 15, 10, and 24.
One of those attacks hits.
Okay. That is 11 points of slashing damage. And now we're going to get on to the advantage. How's that health looking, Bryn?
Okay.
Yeah. Question mark. Okay, what are we doing? So first attack is 15, a unnatural 20, and 17.
So 1 hit.
Okay. So the 17 no longer hits you?
No, because she's got Shield of Faith.
Shield. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
awesome.
so she's got an extra, so it's 19 is her AC at the moment.
Nice. So that is 10 slashing damage from that one. Then we've got, that's cocked. Why do I ever use that dice? That is a natural 20. For the first attack, that is a second natural 20. Oh, it was right next to it. It was an unnatural 20. So 2 nat 20s and an unnatural 20. So unnatural 20 first, that is 10 points of slashing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 2 crits. Oh boy. 8, 10, 14, and 8, 10, 17 for 31 for those 2
she's
attacks. Boom. They mob out onto Bryn, and she seems to identify the weak one and starts to pick on it. And as you get these like powerful swings on this creature, it just seems to get more and more furious and angry, letting out this like kind of like Tasmanian devil vibe. And there's a moment right before it pulls its sword back to swing where you're like, oh, I see what happened to the trees now. As it just starts swinging its blade back and forth haphazardly, just not even caring whether or not the blades connect, and just the sheer barrage of attacks strikes through your armor and brings you down, Bryn. And Bryn falls to the ground. Natalie.
Yes.
You are up.
Right now.
Oriana, you're on deck, and Aery, you're up after that.
How far away from Bryn am I there at the moment? Because she's surrounded by 3 of them, right?
About 40 feet away, if I remember correctly.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I have 40 feet of movement
From the tree. Was it 40 or 45, Aery?
Sorry?
Was it 40 or 45 feet?
What was?
The distance to the other tree?
I can't remember, sorry.
Okay, we'll say
I
40.
think it's 45, but it would be 40 feet for me to stand next to her. So.
Yes, yeah. Because they would take a square.
Because I reckon it was 45 feet between Oriana and Aery, and we said it would be equidistant to the tree. So yeah, it'd be 40 feet for me to stand next to Bryn. But she's currently surrounded by 3 creatures, right?
Yes.
And then there are 2 that are going after...
Aery and Oriana. The one that went after Oriana took a hit.
Okay. Excellent. Am I going to invoke an attack of opportunity by moving through?
No, they are prone. When they throw themselves, they fall prone to the ground.
Right. Okay.
So I guess technically you would invoke one, but it would be at disadvantage.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rage.
Yep.
You know, be like, fucking, my friends are in trouble. Holy shit. Like, you know, fucking Angie. And I will look briefly to Aery before looking to Bryn on the ground and rush over to her and attack the closest one that I can. Like, as in, like, the one that would make sense for me to attack from that distance.
And to specify your pronoun usage, you're heading over to the one by Aery or the one by Bryn?
So I looked at Aery first because Aery is injured, but have chosen to move over to Bryn.
Gotcha. Excellent. You sprint over. What's your run speed?
40.
40? Oh, yeah, you make it right over. There is one of them that is still wounded from the attack that Bryn had just a moment ago, and you could pretty easily get up next to that one and just start throwing hands.
Cool. I would like to attack that one. I will choose to not be reckless this time because they are prone, right?
No, these ones are standing. They just dropped down from the tree and started attacking.
Bastards. I'll fucking hit you with reckless then.
Sorry.
Okay, so the first one is not great. Oh, fucking hell. I hate that it doesn't show you like your whole character sheet when you're looking on here. You have to actually like swap screens.
Oh, yeah.
Just look on that part. That will be for the first one is a 12 to hit.
12? Okay.
And the second is a 26.
The 12 just misses.
Okay.
You swing the blade over, but it's still like kind of frenzied from attacking Bryn, so it's like just kind of moving erratically.
Yeah. Also, I would like to never use dice again. That is a 1 on a d12. But that's plus 6. So
okay, that's still 7. That's still good. So this one is... Yeah, this one is still pretty wounded from Bryn's initial attacks, and it looks like it's kind of getting close to its last legs, but it still has like that just frantic, manic energy about it.
And yeah,
okay.
She's just going ham.
Absolutely.
Recklessly attacking.
Anything else you want to do? Bonus move, action?
No, my bonus action is raging, so that is actually spent.
Awesome. Oriana, you're up. Aery, you're on deck.
From where I am standing, because I was right next to Aery, is there a way that I could, in a 15-foot cone of fire, get both them Nomi dudes that are attacking both of us?
Yes, but you would have to use like 15 feet of movement. Basically, you would go around the tree, so you would have the two of them like lined up.
Okay. And that would get me.
Oh no, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can move through allied squares. Never mind. No, you can move through Aery's square and just get on the other side. So it just take 10 feet of movement. Yeah.
Okay. I will do that, and then I'm going to use my class feature to cast Burning Hands at 2nd level through both of them.
Excellent. Is that dex save or is that spell attack?
It is, I don't know, because I'm looking at the feature bit, not the spell bit. Just give me a second.
Oriana spells.
Dex saving throw. Of
Dex.
14.
Okay. They are not very good with dexterity. One of them fails and the other one succeeds. That's another natural 20. My dice are hot tonight, y'all.
This is some
Okay,
fucking
love to
reading,
hear it.
honestly.
5.
Horror
That is
stories.
a lot.
One sentence horror stories.
Yeah.
DM, my dice are hot tonight, y'all.
Mm.
Oh.
That could have been so much better. So the one that failed takes 13 damage,
Okay.
and the one fire damage, if it matters. And the one that saved takes half that, so that's
6. Yep. Excellent. So the one that missed you, that's like 10 feet further back, you can see it's still like trying to reorient itself as it like slowly staggers up to its feet. They didn't take turns. I totally just realized those two didn't take turns. Oh well, we've moved on. It like staggers up to its feet, like dazed from the spinning, and just immediately this wave of fire blasts it in the face. The one that is on top of Aery hears you moving around like over it, and just sort of looks up and tries to like cover itself, almost hiding behind Aery, and you just scorch its back.
And as a bonus action, I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay. Does that get an attack roll now, or?
It should. It doesn't. Yes.
When you cast a spell,
yeah.
make a melee spell attack. Yep.
So I'm going to cast that. Since I saw that it didn't hit the one nearest Aery, I'll hit him because he's now closer to me anyway, isn't he? Since I moved.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's an attack. Where the fuck is my 20? This has not been a nice dice to me. That's a 14 plus nothing, I think. I don't think I add anything to the spiritual weapon attack.
14 is a hit.
Okay. And that is a 4 plus spellcasting ability, which is 2.
Okay.
Wait, that doesn't sound right. Whatever. It's 6.
6. Great. Still the spiritual snake.
Yep, still my 2-headed jump snake.
The 2-headed snake strikes out. Aery, you are up. Just to recap the battlefield, 3 of them dropped down from the tree and started attacking Bryn. One of them was wounded by Bryn's counterattack, but they were able to bring Bryn down. Natalie rushed over to that side of the tree and continued to attack the one that is wounded, such that it looks like it is barely standing. Meanwhile, over by the other tree, about 40 feet away, you have one that basically is like right next to you prone that threw itself. And there's another one that is 10 feet back that threw itself at Oriana and missed. And it looks like it's getting up and it is pretty heavily wounded. So you're next to this tree, next to Eminence and Oriana.
Yes. I'm going to bonus action Misty Step 30 feet away.
Absolutely. I would say you could probably Misty Step into a standing position.
Yeah, I don't see why not. It's magic.
Yeah.
And then I want to cast Fireball, which is a cantrip, at the one that attacked me.
Gotcha. Bolt?
Yes, Firebolt.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, make it a spell attack.
Okay.
Eminence, you are on deck.
That is a 8 plus 7, which is 15?
15 hits.
Lovely. What fuck?
Whoa, yeah.
That's a 10 and a 9.
19 damage?
Yes.
Jeez.
Wait, let me make sure it is. Yeah, it's 2d10.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, the firebolt just crashes into its face. It kind of gets up. You can see its mustache is like singeing a little bit towards the ends. Yeah, that's awesome. Anything else?
No, I used my bonus action. There's something else I can do.
Yeah, the rest of you have like brief flashes of color from the bright red and orange flames of first the burning hands and then coming the opposite direction, the firebolt that just sort of briefly light up the scene. But it is still very dark in this black and white grayscale. Eminence, you are up. I think you're muted.
Muted.
Damn it! I very rarely do that. God damn it. I'd like to cast Burning Hands in the direction of, I am hoping, the two creatures that are within a 15-foot cone, or if not, focusing on the one that's closest to me.
Yeah, so you can get both of them. You'll just be adjacent to your sister. So you're
cool.
doing the same spell, same cone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
excellent.
this way she doesn't get all the credit for it.
Of course.
Teamwork.
Of course. What is your DC?
14.
14. That is 2 fails.
Yay!
Love that.
Changing up the dice.
Okay. That failed. I'd like to stamp my feet and go home. What else can I do?
What's your damage?
Oh yeah, sorry, I thought it completely failed. It's half damage. Okay, this is still good.
They to be clear, they failed their save. They take full damage.
Oh my gosh, sorry.
No worries.
Cool. So that is 5d6 damage. So I'm just going to use the roller thingy that's on D&D Beyond. That is a... Show me what it is. 22.
Okay. Both of them are just roasted completely by all of this massive wave of fire. Once again, the dark forest just lights up with this orange flame, and this time there are 2 crackling corpses of these small humanoid creatures just kind of burning there underneath the trees. Anything else, Eminence?
No, just a smug glance at my sister.
Okay, Bryn, you are up. Let's get a death save. Natural 20.
Fail. No.
Oh, 1 failure.
No.
1 step closer to death. What does Bryn see as everything fades to dark, as this final thing strikes against her? What does Bryn see? What flashes through her mind?
I think she sees an open field that's partially covered in snow with just one silhouette, an older gentleman in the distance, just half smile, hand outstretched.
Yeah. The gentleman sees you and acknowledges you, and again, that broad smile is just welcoming and warm and safe. Okay, the creatures are up next. There are 3 of them here. Yeah, they are going to turn onto you, Natalie, because you ran up and were loud and a big threat. So one of them is just going to attack you without like worrying about advantage. He's just going to try to like rush in. That is a 9, a 14, and a 21.
2 of those hit.
Ooh, 14 hits. Okay.
I'm a barbarian. I go low AC.
That is 8 slashing damage and
4.
8 slashing damage for 16
4.
total. Yeah, so that's 8.
8.
The others quickly rush into position beside you. They are going to get flanking, so these attacks will be with advantage. That is, it's really bad. That's a 9. That is a 15.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a 16. So that's 2 more hits.
Mm-hmm.
Are all of these ones? Oh no, okay. That is another 16 points of slashing.
Okie dokie. Love that 8.
And the last one does a 15 to hit, a 19 to hit, and lastly, cocked, 24 to hit.
They all hit.
So that was 3 hits. That is... I'm rolling really badly on these guys now. I had it's when you say it out loud.
I get you. I'm with you.
3, 6, 10, 14. Goodbye.
No! Come back.
14. And then, these are actually 2 ones. 14, 16, 20 points of slashing damage.
Okay, 10. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm still fine.
Oh my gosh.
Just got under half health.
That is...
Oh my god.
That hurts. Natalie, you're up. Oriana, you're on deck.
Okay, just to clarify,
Yes.
because I can't see the map, so I don't know for sure. Am I able to reach Bryn? Don't care if I take an opportunity of attack. Am I able to reach Bryn to stand beside her?
Absolutely.
Okay. I would like to stand beside her and, like, you kind of see, like, she's kind of, like, sweating at this point, and she's just, like, her eyes are fixed on Bryn's body on the floor. And she pulls from the side of her belt a potion of healing that she will use to give to Bryn. Despite the fact that, like, her muscles are bulging at this point and she just moves over.
Yeah, I like to imagine, like, you don't even, like, pop the cork out. You just squeeze the cork so angrily that it just, like, shoots out and then immediately pour it into Bryn's mouth. You will get an opportunity attack from only one of them.
That's fine.
Because you're just, like, moving 1 square. That is a 8 to hit.
Yeah, no. I was about to say yes. I'm like, wait, no, that's not right.
So that's 2d4 plus 2 health to Bryn. As you see that man across the field, you're like, you know who that is. And you know what that signifies, and you know all of the warmth and happiness and emotion involved with that. And as your foot reaches out to take that first step in that direction, it comes into contact with the dirt and snow, and there's just that satisfying crunch, and then you gasp for breath as suddenly your eyes flash back open. You see Natalie looking above you with ostensibly a look of rage and concern. But you are conscious.
But also the last thing that she would see, like the first thing that she would notice as well, is that look of rage then quickly just melts away to complete concern because her rage ends.
Ah.
So
she
that
was
opportunity
attacked.
attack didn't happen before her turn.
It missed. Yeah.
So,
right.
but that's fine.
Yeah. You just need to survive the next round.
How many?
Anything else?
How many points was it as well? Because
sorry, that's 7. So 2d4 plus 4.
Plus 4 or plus 2?
I thought it was plus 4. You just said plus 4.
Is it?
You might need to check for me.
Yeah, no,
it's a
I'm
potion of
cracking
healing,
it open
so it's
right
not
now.
like anything too special.
Because it's 2d4 plus 4. Sorry, 2d4 plus 2, 4d4 plus 4, 8d8 plus 8.
Oh yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
5
Then yeah, it
points?
would be 5 instead.
Yeah. So 5 points of health.
excellent.
At least
And
I'm
then lastly,
assuming the rage would end at the end of my turn, because it says if your turn ends and you haven't taken
yes,
damage
yeah,
yet.
at the end of your turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oriana, you're up. Natalie, you're on deck. Just to refresh the battlefield, there were the 2 that flung themselves at the wizards and just got roasted by fire. Just massive waves of flame. Now looking over, Bryn is lying down prone on the ground. Natalie is directly on the other side of her, sort of acting as a human wall between these 3 creatures that are surrounding Natalie, but are not adjacent to Bryn. And that is 40 feet away.
40 feet. Excellent. That is the most important number that I needed to know. To cast Toll the Dead, I need to be able to see them. So, any of them, can I see them? Since they're gnomes, and I wouldn't be able to see them if they're directly from my line of sight behind Natalie and Bryn.
No, you can see them pretty clearly.
I can? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Basically, any of them, then I'll just Toll the Dead at one of them.
So there is the one that is still wounded from Bryn and Natalie's earlier strikes. The other two have not been touched.
If one is obviously wounded, I'll hit that one because
it's very clearly got a limp, but it appears to be like frenzying.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a Wisdom saving throw.
Yep. And roll credits. That is a 13.
It needed to make a 13, so it doesn't hit. I'm very, very bad at these with spell saves.
Wait, no, isn't it if you equal it, it does hit? If something equals your armor, it hits, right? Isn't it the same?
Equal or greater. Yeah, but it's a spell save. So the creature is making the save to hit 13.
The creature gets advantage, doesn't it? If it hits your DC.
Yeah.
As opposed to AC.
I don't know. I never pass.
Oh, sorry. Not like mechanical, not mechanical advantage, but because it is the one doing the rolling, it needs to get up to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made that more confusing than it needed to be.
That's totally fine.
Okay.
I was looking, creature gets advantage. Where does it get advantage from?
He's not going to take any damage, but I am going to use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on Bryn, and I'll do that at 3rd level.
Okay.
So that will be
3d4 plus your spellcasting modifier. Yep.
Do you want to roll, or do you want me to do it? Oh no! Wait! It's not a potion. It's me.
Yes. I was like,
I'm sorry. Although you'll probably wish that you did it because that was 2 1s and a 2, so that's 4 plus 2.
What is with our healing rolls?
For a total.
Yeah.
That gets you up to 11.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
Excellent. Aery, you're up. Eminence, you're on deck.
Okay, so how far away am I from those? Because I teleported 30 feet back from the...
So if you went like 30 feet straight back, you're 70 feet away, like in a line. But I imagine you probably went like out to a side a little bit because you saw the sisters shooting fireballs and you didn't want to be in line with that. So I would probably say you're close to around 65 to 60 feet.
That's fine.
If you take 5 or 10 feet of movement, you'll be within line of sight.
Oh, so I'm not in line of sight?
I would say you're like right on the edge. Like if you tried to fire a spell, I would give you disadvantage. But
all right, I will move to be within line of sight, and then I will chromatic orb at 3rd level, whichever one looks closest to death. Because fuck that guy.
Excellent. Is that your spell attack or is that a save?
Let me check. Range spell attack, so I make the attack.
Yes.
That's a 3. +7, but still bad.
What's the element type?
Lightning.
Lightning? Okay, yeah, you're still like a little dazed, and as you walk forward, you kind of feel like your temple pounding. So as you spin out this like orb of lightning, you fling it forward, and as you do, your head just kind of like throbs from the force of this massive creature's boot that you're pretty sure left like an imprint in the side of your head. And you just watch like this crackling Tesla orb of like soar through the air, and every now and again it kind of sparks out and just slowly spins through the air away above the creature.
Oh shit.
Anything else?
No, that's it. Oh wait, actually. Oh no, that's not. No, that's all.
Okay. Eminence, you are up. Bryn, you are on deck.
Cool. I have a range of 300 feet for my Eldritch Blast. My question would be, does that give me any kind of like supernatural aiming ability, or is it literally just that the blast can go this far?
The blast can go this far with accuracy.
Okay.
You do not get a benefit, yeah.
Damn it. If I can, I'm going to fire at the two that I can see the best.
Yes. So there is one that is wounded, and there are two that are untouched.
Look, in that case, I'll probably fire at the two that are untouched.
Okay.
I hope someone else deals with the wounded one.
Let's get attack rolls with advantage. Or not with advantage, sorry, but attack rolls against each.
It's a 20 and a...
That hits.
10.
10 does not. So, damage.
Okay. Damage. That is a hot... wait, is it? Yeah. 1d10 plus 3. That's a 4.
4. Love that. It just grazes the shoulder and the head kind of... It starts looking around trying to find the source of the blast. Okay, anything else?
Nope.
All right, Bryn, you are up.
All right. So she used half her movement to get up.
Yep.
And how many were left standing in front of... Are there still 3 in front of Natalie?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. She's going to edge around Natalie so that she has the 3 in front of her, but not Natalie. And she's going to use her breath weapon.
Okay, yeah. Absolutely. And what is that, dex save?
That is a constitution saving throw.
Con save, okay.
Don't get a con save very often.
No.
That is infrequent. Constitution 7, 18, and 22.
Okay, so 1 completely failed is 15.
Yeah.
So that's 3d6 cross damage, or ice damage. Ooh, nice. So 6,
ice
3,
damage.
And another 6. So that's 15 for the one that failed.
Yeah.
And then 7.
7. Yep. Excellent. Yeah, so you rotate around after getting up and it hurts to breathe in. Something is definitely broken. And release this like great powerful gust of air. And Natalie, for a moment, the air just gets really, really cold, like right in front of your face. And you kind of like lean back a little bit as this like supernatural force of cold blasts these 3 creatures. And the wounded one is finished off. It is now fallen to the ground dead, meaning there are 2 left alive, both of them a little wounded. That said, it is now their turn, unless you have anything else.
No. Wait, where were the 2 that are surviving? Where are they standing in conjunction to Natalie?
They were kind of like a triangle. So, like, if Natalie was like a V, like this, Natalie was at the bottom of the V because she was in the middle and went around it to give you a healing potion. So I imagine you like went over onto the side, I guess, like over here, and then.
Yes, so it is... Yeah. Wait. It would have, just been enough that... are they in melee range with Natalie yet?
Yeah. One of them is still next to Natalie in melee.
Okay. Yeah, I think she just stand there then.
Okay. In that case, one of them is going to run over to Natalie and take attacks. And the other one is going to run over to you and take attacks against you, Bryn.
So I'd use a reaction for Polearm Master. I don't know if reaction goes before they land their attacks. If it's having to move towards me, it's entering my attack range.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds fair.
Right. Does reaction goes before they attack or after they attack?
I think it depends.
I don't know how it works with that because
when they enter your range.
It's when they enter your
trigger.
attack range.
Yeah.
So my attack range is 10 feet, so they wouldn't be able to attack. I don't think before me, because if I attack when they're at 10 feet and their melee range is 5 feet?
Yeah.
Reactions are very confusing to me.
Yeah. I was just looking at it. There was a thing in Tasha's. Let me find it again real quick. That talked about the timing of reactions.
No, I haven't either yet.
Reaction timing. Making opportunity attacks and casting shield spell are typical uses of reactions. If you're unsure when a reaction recurs in relation to its trigger, here's the rule. Reactions happens after the trigger unless the description of the reaction explicitly states otherwise. Once you take a reaction, you can't take another one until the start of your next turn.
So
the trigger for you is entering your range.
So I would attack before they do.
Yes.
Okay.
As if you keep attacking, just like a pole arm just comes out and just goes shank. Like,
yeah.
Of course you're gonna keep going.
22.
It's like that scene in Jaws, just like yeah, 22 hits.
And that is 10, so 14 points of slashing damage.
Damn.
It's pretty damn good.
You just get like a really deep cut, like right on the side of the abdomen, and you actually kind of like pierce into the abdomen a little bit, and then the blade pulls free as it just continues to manically push forward towards you. Though to hit Natalie, that is a 20, a 20, and a 23.
Yeah, I think some of those hit.
Yeah. That is... Stop it!
Stop it.
That's some help.
6
for milk.
Plus 10, 14. There we go. 22, 26 points of slashing damage.
26. Okay.
Yep. Barbarian fucking...
Are they hitting with like... Yeah, I'm getting ready for it. Are they hitting with... What are they hitting me with? The scimitars, right?
These scimitars, yeah.
I would imagine that she takes the first 2 hits and the third one goes to hit her, and she looks for a moment like she's about to drop, and then she just flicks her head back, looks it directly in the eyes, and just smiles as she gets back with 1 more hit point.
Ah, there it is. Yeah, and the creature, make an intimidation check for me.
Oh, sure. That's not great. Wait, do I have advantage on intimidation? No, I don't. I have proficiency. That's what
you tell me.
I want to see all my features in one page, but like if I download the sheet, I can't live update things. It's very annoying.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's just that I get proficiency. Yeah, I do.
The player app is out on phones, and I think they added rolling to the phone app. So if you lose Wi-Fi, you can still access it through
that's cool.
Cellular.
Oh. No, mine is more like I want to see my features at the same time as I'm seeing my skills, which you have to open different pages to do. But that's
classic D&D.
That's like a 7, so it's a 4 plus 3.
7, yeah. There's a moment where it looks like kind of scared, and then it looks at your wounds and is like, and seems to like be glad that it can hit you more. Yeah. Awesome. The other one attacks Bryn. 18, 11, and 12.
The 18 hits.
Okay. Cool. That is 10 points of slashing damage.
Fuck yeah, 1 hit point, boys!
Okay.
1 hit point gang! Woo!
Yeah, the tanks in the front are just... yeah, it just strikes at you over and over, and this time you're like, I don't need to defeat it right now. I just need to withstand this onslaught. I recognize this is a force of nature.
I'm just envisioning the one that hits her, because the 1 hit point, she like just gets her hand under so it doesn't go slightly deeper. And
Yeah.
if speaking is a free action, she would just say, "Don't worry, we'll return you to the dirt very soon."
Make an intimidation check.
Taking these 4 things on, they're gonna like
Yeah,
fucking murder us.
18.
18. Yeah, this is not the one that brought you down the first round, but it watched you go down and then get back up, and you can see like it's not super intelligent. But there is just like the brief shadow of doubt that just kind of flashes by its face as you hold on to it. Yeah, okay. That's their turns. They attack. Natalie, you're up. Oriana, you're on deck.
Okay. On my 1 hit point. Looking very, very battered and beaten and broken. However, not broken enough because she will turn and just let out a bit of a roar as she goes to a rage before unleashing
Hell.
fucking reckless thing. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
I was like, what is it called again? I don't know.
Unleashing heck.
That's okay. That's a 18, so that would make it like a fucking 25.
Yeah, that hits.
Why are you doing this to me? That's 14?
And a 14 hits.
Oh, sweet. Okay. I hate you. So sorry, that was very loud.
That was
so
a
that's
journey.
2 3s for damage dice, but that will make it plus 12. So 18?
15. 3, 3, 18. Yeah. You're correct. No, you're correct.
yeah,
You said
yeah,
2
yeah,
3s
yeah.
plus 12. That's 6 plus 12 is 18.
Okay. I'll trust you.
I said 15 because I added 1 3, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh god, what is it? It's fine. I hit them and that's the important thing.
Yeah. The one that you strike with your axe is wounded. It is still standing, but it is bloodied. Anything? So that was bonus action move.
I'll just cry. No, I won't move. I'm not moving.
Tears of rage and concern.
I don't back out. That's not how this works.
Yeah. Oriana, you're up. Aery, you're on deck. Oriana, just to refresh the battlefield, you're still 40 feet away from that tree where Bryn and Natalie are fighting the last 2 of these creatures. One of them was dispatched just a moment ago, and the other 2 that attacked you died from fire.
So much fire. My spiritual weapon can only move 20 feet at a time, so
Yep.
I mean, I'm gonna bonus action move it 20 feet, but I don't
Might as
think
well.
it's gonna get there. And then I think I'm going to Toll the Dead again, because I don't really have a whole load of long distance attacky things equipped right
Yeah. And that's my save again?
Yes.
Oh, that's 9. What is it? Constitution?
Wisdom save. 13.
Wisdom. Roll credits. DC, so we got a 10.
Oh, excellent. And he is damaged, correct?
He is damaged, yes.
Oh, that's better. Okay, that's a 10, but plus nothing.
Is it 1d12 or is it 2d12?
Wait, yeah, no, sorry. We're over 5th level, so it's 2. It's rolling. That's a 2. So that's 12.
12. Okay. This one also, you cast the spell, and this is the one that, like, Bryn, like, just barely has her hand on the blade as it's, like, biting into her shoulder, and all of a sudden it just kind of, like, flinches a little bit from the sound of the bell, and the psychic waves just cause one of the hands to, like, go to the head as it staggers back away from Bryn, still within, like, melee and combat range, but just reeling from the blast of energy. And you did bonus. Do you want to move?
Yeah, I'll get closer. I don't want to
Okay,
get the whole way up.
Yeah, so you're 40 feet away.
Yeah, I'll move my whole 30 feet up, aiming
Okay.
at Bryn. Mostly.
Yeah, just excellent. Aery, you are up. Eminence, you are on deck.
I want to try to chromatic orb again at 3rd level.
I believe.
The same
Spell
one.
attack. The one attacking Bryn or the one attacking Natalie?
Whichever's closest. I don't know. I can't see.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know which one would be closest, but whichever one it is.
That would be Bryn's
Natalie's.
probably
Okay, so that's a 12 plus 7, which is
Oh, yeah, you're right, Bryn's. Yeah.
19.
19 hits?
Yeah. Is that right? 2d8. No, it's 5d8. Okay.
Jeez.
Jesus.
I thought it says like 2d8 on here, but I'm like, but this is a 3rd level, and then
It's
in the
third
side-
level, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, why am I casting a spell that does less than my cantrip? But no, I don't know if it's all. 3. I don't think I have enough d8s.
And what damage type is it again?
Lightning.
Oh boy.
Suddenly
Shit.
they can heal from lightning spells. We're all fun.
I didn't expect a hit, so I didn't really plan for this.
All according to plan.
Okay. I got 4, I'll just reroll 1. 5, 6, oh no, 5, 6,
10,
8,
16, 24,
and 4.
28 points of lightning damage. Yep. This time the orb of lightning, you just sling it out, and the creature is kind of like holding on to its head from the Toll the Dead that just hit just a moment ago. And right as its eyes open, this blast of lightning just hits it in the chest, and the orb is there, and then it just dissipates with all of the just lightning absorbing into the body. And you watch as the iron feet begin to almost glow a little orange as the current just causes it to like freeze and lock up and then just like fall over.
Ooh.
Cool.
And Bryn, you can see that where the feet were standing, some of the leaves underneath are just sort of like steaming just a little bit from the heat of the boots conducting all of it. Yeah, it is mega dead. There is one remaining directly in front of Natalie. Is there anything else you want to do, Aery?
No, sorry, I was just trying to fix my camera. It's out of focus.
Focus. Okay.
But no, I'm good. That's all. That's all for me.
Okay. Eminence, you are up, and Bryn, you're on deck.
Okay, I would like to use a bonus action to Misty Step right up to, oh, if I can make it, I forget whether I'm 40 or 30 feet away, but as close as I can to the remaining critter.
Let me double check here.
I can move up to 30 feet.
Yes, so you can use your movement to move forward 10 feet and then Misty Step the rest of the way.
Yep, even as a bonus action?
Yeah, where are you getting your Misty Step from?
I have it as a spell. As a 3rd level, apparently.
Misty Step?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Teleport up to 30 feet. Yeah. One bonus action. Poof.
Poof, I do that. And then stabby stab with my dagger.
Okay. Warlocks.
Stabbing.
Make an attack roll.
That's what I get for not warlocking.
A natural win.
That is a, let me just double check what exactly that is. Yeah, that is a 2.
Mm-hmm. Plus?
Plus,
Plus not enough.
not enough, I'm sure.
Suddenly she has like plus 12 to a dagger.
Surprise.
Wait, where the hell, how do you see what you have as
Have you equipped
It
your
should-
an
dagger?
attack roll?
Because it will be an
Yeah.
equipment.
Yeah, and I have hit DC next to it if it's equipped.
The other thing you can do is add your proficiency modifier and either your dexterity or your strength.
Bloody, not equipment.
Okay,
it's
let's
an
do
action.
that.
Sorry, not equipment.
Yeah, oh, sorry. Yeah, if it's equipped in action, it's very top.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's the problem. I haven't equipped it. Okay, let's do plus dex then. Look, it's a 2. Let's just assume it fails.
No, I know. We're okay. Anything else you want to do,
that's a
Eminence?
No, there's nothing I can do.
Okay, Bryn, you are up. One remaining red cap directly in front of Natalie, already wounded.
Yeah, she's gonna step up. I'm assuming with there being 2 people already on it, it's flankable.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, she's gonna take 2 attacks with her halberd.
Hey, yeah.
14
14 hits.
and 21 for the second.
That also hits.
So the first one is 9 points of slashing damage,
Mm-hmm.
and then 10 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And if it is still not down, she's going to use her bonus attack to use her pole arm master bonus attack.
So you do not need to do that. How
Oh,
do you want to do this?
I'm liking to think that as Emmy has like come up behind it and like almost gone to like do the execute style with the dagger behind it, it's recoiled and turned back, and Bryn's just gonna like lunge and just pick it up on the back.
Oh yeah,
From the back with her pike.
absolutely. It does not. It is not prepared for that at all, and you just immediately. You've worked with your polearm for so long that it is easy for you to like hook it on your foot and get your full weight and momentum behind it as a base, so that as it pierces through the back of the creature, it like lifts up, and you can actually like feel the weight of the solid iron boots kind of like swing a little bit. But because you have it like braced on your foot, you're able to just like hold it up on the weight of the polearm and just up in the air as it kind of finally goes limp. And there's a moment or two where it kind of like flails before it does roll back dead, and you pull your polearm free as it drops to the ground with a heavy thud. Congratulations, you've defeated the creatures.
Yay!
Don't
Bryn's
feel
just
particularly good about it.
Bryn's gonna like clap Natalie on the shoulder and just like thumbs up Emmy with the other hand. Ah, good flank. We haven't had a fight like actually we had a fight just like that. What am I saying? But we got them all.
Emmy just kind of glares back. I had that one.
But you gave me such a perfect opportunity. How could I?
Mm-hmm. And she'll kind of like, I will offer like a little smile. Like, she's not, we did just beat some dudes up together. This is a bonding moment regardless.
Natalie will just like wipe a bit of blood that's like dribbling out of the side of her mouth, and she'll just be like, I have to commend you for looking into the face of danger and just running straight in there.
Well, it's not necessarily the finest thing that I've ever done. And Bryn is gonna like lean forward and help like wipe off, and she's gonna cure wounds 2nd level as she's doing that to Natalie.
Curing each other.
Yeah, and as you heal Natalie for how many hit points?
11.
Oh,
11 hit points. You realize that most of the light from all of the different spells that have just been flung back, the fire and the lightning and all of that, the still glowing boots of the one that was fried by Aery's attack, there is still that image just sitting in the back of your mind, fresh and clear and bright, of what you saw just a moment ago. But your friends are here, and they are, for the most part, not too worse for wear. And for the time being, you are the most roughed up individual.
Well, should we have a sit down potentially?
I think that sounds like a brilliant idea. I feel much better, but I think we all need a bit more of a rest.
Yeah, I need to sit down.
Well, I think we all did very well. That rib I was talking to you about earlier, Emmy, I think it is broken now. I thought it was just a dislocation, but something popped like twice, and ribs don't do that.
Emmy looks a little pale.
Let's get some sleep. Aery, Oriana, are you okay to to finish off for the night?
No offense, but I'm kind of fucked up.
Once we get back to the sleeping tents and stuff, I'll cast Prayer of Healing on everyone once we're all in a spot. But also, should we check on what's her fucking name?
She can wait.
Jana?
She's probably fine.
Oh no, that was in character. What's her fucking name? It wasn't me fucking.
Actually, yeah, that's probably not something Natalie would say, but whatever. That's what I think.
I'll check
Bryn-
on Jana. I'm feeling all right. I'm fine. I can check on her.
Bryn is immediately, because she didn't give Jana her hammer back, she's just gonna like pull the 4 nails out of that were nailed into the tree.
Yeah. It's a painful process, but you are able to once again unseat the nails. And again, even though the nails have only just been put in, there isn't sap flowing from the puncture wounds. It's still like that, almost like I don't want to say like caustic, but when you cauterize, it's almost like cauterized. Yeah. Inside the flesh of the tree.
Brenna will just pat the trunk and when will they learn to leave you alone? In Sylvan, probably. And then I'm assuming it's like the anime, which is like, job well done, and then just like, blah, and just like blood like running out the side of the mouth.
Yeah. Excellent. So Eminence, you walk over to the hut with your dark vision. It's quiet. There's no lights. No movement. There's still sort of the freshly pulled holes in the dirt. But
I will sneak up to the front door and try to do a little sort of like mum peek, like creak the door open just and see if I can peek inside and see if she's asleep.
yeah. You peek inside and you see in the back corner the small cot that makes up Jana's bed, the bundle of blankets and the figure underneath, just slowly. Just breathing. And then little bit restless as it kind of turns over and tries to adjust the pillow.
Okay. Jana. See if there's any reaction if I whisper.
There is a
Jana. The rock is gone. I want to see if she's faking.
It's kind of quiet for a moment, and then the breathing kind of takes like a short like inhale, and then what?
Nothing, darling. Just checking on you. Go back to sleep.
Make a deception check. She's 100% insight checking you right now.
I think deception's pretty decent too. What else? 18.
18. She's still kind of like bleary eyed and sits up a little bit and kind of rubs her eyes. Okay. Is everything all right?
Everything's fine. We'll talk about it in the morning.
Okay. And slowly leans back and settles down into the bed.
Okay, I'll head back to the others and let them know that she seems to have slept through the whole thing.
Excellent. The five of you make your way back over to the tents, and because you did enter combat, you will need to restart a long rest. It is about 4 o'clock in the morning, so you would be able to finish a long rest by noon, and you don't need to be sleeping for the whole duration of this rest. As long as you are actively resting, even if you're awake, you can still get the benefits of it.
Honestly, if it's 4 o'clock in the morning, we'd probably rest for 8 hours anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's 3:04 a.m. right now. Hey, that's real life.
No, but I meant like 8 hours from now. Still be resting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Would anyone like to keep watch, or does anyone have anything that they want to do before going back to rest?
Yeah, Bryn's probably gonna, after Aery was fussing about being injured, use her last to cure wounds, first level, and
Thank you. I had 6 hit
Not
points.
Not on herself?
No, of course not. So that's 8
Yourself
points of healing.
Thank you.
8 whole hit points.
8 whole hit points.
Before we go to sleep or like resting, and before like just after seeing that as well, Natalie will turn to Bryn and just like, as soon as Aery's like walked away to go settle in, walk over to her and just be like, I saw that hit.
Bryn. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna say Bryn's just like, and it's like getting down again to just like lean against the tree. He said he didn't feel very well.
You don't feel very well either, do you? I'm no herbalist, I'm no doctor. I do seem to know a pretty deadly hit when I see one.
Well, and she's just gonna stand up. If I've got you looking out for me, I don't need to really worry about having a bit of a sit down, do I? And she's gonna flicker under the chin and then sit back down again.
It's not what I meant. And she'll just like reach into her side pocket and pull out another of the 3 potions that she had. So now she's got 1 left. But she'll put that directly beside her face and just kind of awkwardly shimmy off without even saying anything else. Just like directly by the side where she's laid down on the tree and like leant it onto the floor and just walked off.
Yep.
And while you're wasting healing potions, everybody gets 24 points of healing back if they need it.
No, Bryn wouldn't have taken it, it's fine.
I put it beside her. I didn't like jam it in her mouth or anything.
Not this time.
I just want to say that my max hit points is 26.
Was it 23 points of healing? Is that right?
Oh, let me maths again. 8 plus 8 plus 5 plus 2.
21. 23.
I'm very bad at maths.
Sorry, 23 in total.
Oh, 23. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just 1 point off. That's not too bad.
Got a lot of hit points.
Time to nap.
Is anyone keeping watch?
I will take the first watch since I didn't finish my last watch.
Okay.
I will join you in that watch.
Excellent.
And,
and the rest of you
rest for at least the first bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bryn would happily take second watch.
Okay. Is there anything that the sisters want to do or talk about over the course of this watch?
If Ori doesn't say anything, Eminence isn't going to for pretty much the entire duration until it's getting close to the time that they need to wake somebody else up, and she'll whisper, I got 2 of them. Did you see?
I was standing right next to you. Of course I saw. You did good.
It's pretty great, huh?
You did good. I did notice that you copied me. That didn't escape my attention. But you did good.
Well, I mean, it's a good spell, and we have to have some things in common.
I suppose. She's going to do the kind of awkward shoulder pat thing again that she does when she wants to hug someone but she can't make herself do it.
She doesn't shy away this time.
Oh.
Character development.
We get to like episode 150 and they finally hug.
Yeah, I know. You wait, fam. I like to imagine Oriana in her head is like, but I loosened the jar. Excellent. Yeah, your watch passes without incident. Towards the end of your watch, the sky begins to light up that sort of pale blue off in the distance. Not quite the sun rising just yet, but within the next 20 or 30 minutes, you imagine it will slowly start to come up over the horizon. And who do you wake?
I think Bryn's
Guess.
second, and Aery probably still needs sleep,
Yeah,
so I'll probably
no.
wake up.
Aery's fine. Aery's full health after the Song of Rest.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Excellent. The two sisters retire, leaving Aery and Bryn.
You feeling okay, Bryn? You had a bit of a fall earlier.
No, that was a little bit embarrassing. But you know, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, it happens to me all the time.
Well, now we have that we have in common.
How fun. What a fun thing to have in common. It was pretty scary, though, to see you go down.
Well, it's teaching me to look up next time as well as down.
Yeah, I never thought that they would just go up into the tree. I thought maybe they were invisible. I didn't think they just went up.
like the
They did that so
mushroom
fast.
people apparently. Who would have thought that they'd scale a tree? They were
Yeah,
like,
who would have
obsessed.
thought that mushrooms could fly?
I know, and that's pretty impressive when you think about it with those heavy boots that they could get up.
Yeah.
I can't move quietly with my iron boots.
Well, you don't just have iron boots, you also have like iron greaves and iron gauntlet and iron breastplate and
Yes,
so
that's true. But that's why it's like even more embarrassing that I got downed.
it's fine. Like you said, it happens to the
Oh no, what is it? Who does it happen to? What does it happen to? Eddie, come back to me, Eddie! Please.
I don't know what the fuck is up with my Discord today.
Oh boy.
It keeps like resetting itself.
There has never been more perfectly bad timing.
Middle of the sentence.
Well, I mean, last time it was something along the lines of like, I'm sure we won't die, and then just disconnect.
Well, it does happen to the best of us. Was that what you were saying before you started looking off into space and then stopped speaking? Oh no.
I think
Aery
maybe-
just
Oh no,
rebooted.
the sheriff.
Oh,
Oh no. Oh, it's all gone wrong.
We're never gonna find out.
I hear
What are you
Where does it
trying
have
to
I hear the
say,
clicking.
Eddie?
Yeah, I hear typing. Or I heard.
oh,
I seen it. That is to say, I
oh,
saw
that's
it.
it. Dom's typing this time.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, we can hear you.
Eddie.
We'll pick that up next time. uh, I thought I saw the green ring. I
Yeah,
could be
same.
wrong.
When the camera
Bryn
was
will just like waffle on to herself about metaphors and stuff, waking someone for the final watch, I guess.
Okay. About towards the end of your watch, it is getting towards mid-morning at this point. The sun has well and truly risen. It looks like it's going to be a pretty bright, full day. Towards the end of your watch, you begin to see a small little cloud of smoke rise up from Janna's hut on the other side of the tree lake, and she appears to be awake.
Bryn will just go up and tap Natalie gently on the shoulder.
Mm.
Sorry, it looks like you're alone for watch again.
Fine. Some time to myself.
Yeah, I think John is just waking up, so maybe just keep an eye out if she comes out or anything. I don't know what Emmy said to her, but I think Emmy checked on her last night. I don't know if she was awake or not.
I'll keep my eyes in that direction.
And so stupid mushroom garden out the front.
Yeah. We'll deal with that, I guess.
Bryn is just gonna like take Natalie's hand as well and put the potion back in her hand.
She's just instantly gonna glare back at her.
Hey, no, you see, a cleric is such a good healer of the stuff. I didn't need it, and so on. She's like walking away, and so like keep it for next time, so you can be my guardian angel again. And she's gonna go and lay down next to the tree.
And she'll just sigh to herself before getting up and posing for her watch.
Yep.
Same thing as what she did the night before, except it's the middle of the day, and she would be mostly focusing on Janna's cabin.
Yeah. Absolutely. Again, there is just that distinct silence to this particular area of the deep wood. However, you can hear Janna going about hustling and bustling and making breakfast and tea and getting ready for the day and all of that on the other side of this massive tree root. However, your watch passes without incident, and the rest of you get to complete a long rest, finally, finishing off at around noon, midday. I have good news and bad news. What does everyone want to hear first?
Good news first.
Bad news first, end on a high.
Awesome.
I was going to go the opposite, but sure.
Yeah, so
The
was I.
bad news is, after completing a short rest near the rock, your hit point maximum is reduced by 1. The good news is, you are all now level 7.
Oh yeah.
Yay!
So that's the good news. The other bad news, no.
But yeah, fair enough.
Yes.
Okay.
It is midday, and I think that is where we will pick off next time as everyone wakes up, finally rested and recovered, a little blurry after their rest, even despite all of the healing magic and all of the sleep, but still ready to face whatever is next, whether that means taking the rock with them to Valetair or something else. We'll find out next time.
Aery wakes up as 2 blue dots that spin around each other.
We hear
Yay!
you!
Yeah, if I try and turn my camera on, everything freezes. But if I
It
don't,
breaks.
apparently I can still talk and I can hear you guys.
Nice.
So did you catch that?
Yes.
Okay, so level 7, but -1 to your hit point total.
Rude, to be honest.
Oh no, you didn't hear that. Oh no.
All I heard was level 7. Oh, what's that, Dom? Oh no, you're breaking up. I can't hear. All right, gotta go.
That's fine. I'll send it in DMs.
All of a sudden, I'm blind.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this wonderful Saturday night, Sunday day, and evening.